It was great. It was great.
Ooh. Get out that front chain shit, boy.
Get out that front chain.
Get out that front chain
Get in
shit,
your
boy.
back chain, boy.
Ooh. We really need to get RJ in here too, huh?
Dude, bring him in. Pick him up.
Man.
Pick him up.
Yeah, can you get a cab? Go get RJ.
A cab.
Right.
RJ's not here?
Well, there's not even. Is there a mic?
No, there's no mic.
RJ's here.
No, RJ's like the dude that you have on the back.
Cody ain't here.
It sounds cooler if we get a cab to go get him. It sounds like he's like, not here.
Bring in the chemist. It's time to bring in the chemist.
Bam, y'all did a great job.
Time to reverse
with this
engineer the
room.
map.
This room is money right now. The paint, the new lights.
Yeah, I do like the paint.
This shit here came out.
The bird pool.
TT. Go to TT.
That's chicken shit.
Go to TT's and
No, really, it's chicken shit.
Yeah, no, there's studies on gut health, and
Chickens?
yep, something about the biome.
Like it's good?
Yeah,
That's good.
that's good. We're rolling with it.
Bro. Y'all follow Bella Hadid? She's the samba queen right now in Brazil. She got like 1 million followers. Bro, she's fucking Goata even when she puts the high heels on.
It's like yeah.
Yeah. And then slow motion video, you see the fractal. Wow. It looks like TT.
That's the chicken.
There it is. That's the chick. There's the quote, and that's what goes out.
I'm like, man, this chick is
TT.
moving.
TT.
Named after
Check one, check
60
two.
Bro,
Check one,
nobody
check
hits
two.
the stork like TT.
Check one, check two.
TT will be walking, boom, hit a stork,
One
hold
fuck.
it, 3 seconds,
Yeah.
set it down, soft, corner it.
Squeeze the egg out your ass and see how
Dude,
standing on one leg becomes nothing.
love
The
it.
egg. The fire egg.
The fire egg.
See, when I see the fire egg, I think
Oh, they trying
that's-
to do the chicken.
it looks like the true bow and corner. Not really the 22.5 vortex math, but when you see the fire egg math,
Yeah.
it looks like the bow and the corner
Yep.
more than just linear math. How you gonna explain that to some? I got some real smart dudes like, dude, you got this figured out, but you should do this and do this. I'm like, yeah, I know.
You told them you work with 3 dummies?
Yep. Just to preface this,
No, he's just like, dude, in order to get to the mark, like he wants to help us with the market now.
Everybody wants to help us. with the
everybody wants
marketing.
to.
Everybody wants to help us, but you know what they all say? They say, but y'all got to quit being mean.
Dude, I'm surprised we only got. Hey, I'm surprised we
And
only
I'm
got.
like, bro, it's
Bro,
busy. It's
come on,
busy.
man.
I'm surprised
What do
we
you want me
only
to tell
got
you?
one lawsuit.
Right.
It's busy as fuck.
One person.
That's a good year.
Yeah,
That was a good
right.
season for
We did
Goata.
4 years with one
Yeah,
lawsuit.
4 years, no
We
ACLs,
rolling.
no Achilles, 1 lawsuit.
Yeah.
I think that's a win.
From the guy whose
Yeah.
guy had 2 surgeries
Right,
already.
right.
He's going into his 5th year in the league.
Stop being right.
Yeah.
Stop it. It's bad for business.
Over here in Texas,
I gotta
we don't
get-
allow you
I
to
gotta-
talk about people on
I gotta
social
put
media.
him. I gotta put him with RJ because he's too
really?
smart.
Yo,
for me.
fucking
Yeah, some of these
pussy,
guys,
man.
I'm just like, I don't.
Nobody likes
It's a bow in a corner. Ain't changing.
the end.
The end. End scene.
Period. Exclamation.
And he says,
Period,
but
exclamation point.
it ain't convincing to the layperson. It's what he's saying. And I'm like, and Ricky's like, there's a bow in the corner.
It's a bow in a
the
corner.
layperson can't get the bow.
Bro, the layperson is who's here.
Yeah.
The people that want
Yeah.
it simple.
There's
Are you kidding me?
people of retirement age.
Maybe
Yeah.
Nah, I've been saying simple since the beginning.
Gil, you've been saying it. Don't think you ain't been saying it. How many more videos need to go out? It doesn't matter because they're going to keep coming out
Dude,
whether
you
they
know
want
what's
them or
great?
not.
I don't have to do a lot these days. Just reposts. The
Yep.
shit that these guys are coming up with. Brady,
Yep.
Mike,
Dude,
Tessie.
and we don't even have to
Tessie.
fight.
Tessie's got
they,
it.
Garrett.
Yep.
They fight.
Josh.
with
Josh.
bars, too.
Josh got a page. Dude, Josh can write.
He's an eloquent motherfucker.
He can write. He can write. The hive grows. Before it was just us idiots talking. And I could see why they said those guys are idiots. But now when you got like 30, 40, 50, 100,
160.
like maybe these guys aren't
Wow.
idiots.
Dude, you
they're
know
still
what?
idiots.
We should have an idiot wall. Zach Woodward, Devin. Devin. What's Devin's name from you athlete? Devin.
Oh yeah, Dev. Something.
Jordan Tomlin.
He sent me something the other day, like saying, "Man, I thought you would find this interesting," and it was that them fighting monkey dude or whatever he is.
Yeah.
The brass monkey.
Coming
He was
around.
he was
Brass
looking.
monkey.
He was
Coming around.
looking.
Slow learner.
Give him the credit. He was looking.
Yeah, well, he
tried to disprove it.
obviously
That's an
observed
olive branch.
something.
He tried to disprove it.
That's an olive branch.
Yeah, my back hurts for 6 weeks.
He wants back.
Right.
He wants back in.
Remember what he was doing too? Laying on the stomach. Heels
Dude,
in.
How much is
Nose
that?
out.
$8,000 for the comeback.
The comeback party.
Comeback.
You just got to do a public apology.
Public
On
apology.
Zach telling
Public
on Zach
post
telling-
apology.
Public apology on Zach telling the show if you come from the Olympic lifting community.
Yep.
Hey, Zach, I want to do a show about Olympic lifting. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be there. First off, I'd like to start by saying I want to apologize to all the Goata guys because they fucking right.
Could you imagine? Oh wow.
We'll get
Maybe
you,
someday we can dream.
we'll get you a free
We
search.
can dream. What's even worse is everybody says, "Oh, these guys are bad." Gary reached out. It's like, Zach, I understand what you're going through, having that beat up knee.
Yeah.
We can fix it. And then, no, just science. Like, bro,
I tried.
what do you mean science?
Texas A&M was like,
You're
please
the
don't
research.
associate him with us.
Your knee is the research at that point.
Yeah.
Your
We
knee
fighting for
becomes
you, Zach.
you're moving like we're telling you not to move,
Texas,
and you have the injuries to prove it. And we're trying to tell you a new way to do it to help yourself out. Trying to help you.
Man.
So they always look at those people that are trying to help others as, oh, they're being mean, they're this, they're that. The truth hurts.
The
It
truth
does.
hurts.
It sucks. You watch it in slow motion in the 10 years, or 20, if you go back. For me personally, when I first threw my back out, I was like 8th, 9th grade. So that's been a run that was, the truth was shown in a couple frames of slow motion. I just had to see that right side collapse. I just had to see that left side, not corner. And I'm like, oh, this explains all the injuries.
This explains everything.
This is the only thing that's explained it to this moment. And I've been looking. It's not like I haven't been looking. You've been trying to find the answer. Everybody here's
Man,
been
we
trying
need to
to find
go.
the answer.
We need to go now, bro.
We've been going.
Oh, we've been fucking going. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the party.
Yeah, Ricky.
Welcome to the podcast.
Ricky.
That's how Goata works.
You played at the highest fucking level. You were wrecked. But you were a film junkie. When you saw the slow motion video for the first time, dude, it must have been great and sad at the same time, don't you think?
Yeah, but like I was always, when I was playing, I was like, okay, whether I figure this out or I come to the proper conclusion that will extend my own personal career, or if I don't and I find it later, I can still teach that back to the next generation. It's really a win-win at that moment, but I knew that I'm going in the right direction. I'm looking for a home base, a true blueprint, a simple way to look at this thing, and I know it's out there. And just by, like we always say, how do we all meet? Like what the hell?
Looking for
When
the
did
truth.
this happen?
Looking for the truth.
Dude, it was like
Looking for the truth.
one
If
day.
you have an occupational therapist that was born from occupational therapists, then they're all fucking wrecked.
Shouldn't be here either.
Oh, I didn't know you was here.
No, really.
No, I'm serious. If
my,
you
my dad shouldn't have kids.
what?
Paralysis. Neck down.
Wow. What did they have a
Water.
Told him he'd never walk
They,
again.
they went in and
told him he
got some
wouldn't have
sperm
kids.
and they took it out and put it in.
No. The old-fashioned way.
No,
the
you-
old-fashioned way.
So you saying he fucked?
No, it like came alive and then he fucked.
He came alive.
what's
Came
supposed to
alive.
come
Came alive for Cody.
He wasn't gonna let it.
Hey, I only got to be good one time.
That's it.
I got a
Just
brother.
takes one. Two.
So back to Ricky because he's the super athlete.
I'll take offense to that.
Not a super
I'm
athlete.
offended. I'm
Let
thoroughly
me
offended.
come out and say that I do not condone the super athlete message.
but Rick,
Dude, you better take it when
Rick.
you can get it.
Rick,
I know.
you,
He's gracious.
You're moving really well right now. I watch you. Every time you come back, you move even better. So my question to you is, just let's assume you were a Goata and you had Coach Cody or Coach Bam as in high school as your coach, and you got the mathematics. You think you could at least start it in the NFL? I mean, you think you could read defenses enough? You think you could read the defenses enough, and you think your arm had enough pop in it to make plays?
Well, I mean, I hate going back and doing the, well, I could have played, and that's like Uncle Rico.
Sounds like a golfer, bro.
That's like, bro, you ain't going to trip me on that shit. Coach Ferentz taught me how to handle the media, and I know how to.
Dude, that would be awesome. A Coach Rico van, and
That's
you
the
throwing
Coach
balls
Rico.
in the backyard.
I still
over
got
here.
it. The comeback.
But
no, but like for me, I always see it just keep going forward.
Yeah.
So when I look at it, it was always that had to happen for me to sit here and to go back and be able to teach it to more people than just myself. It would have just died.
I get that.
It would have just been me. I would have never learned. I would have never been able to explain it to anybody. So I had to go through it. So I never look back and I'm like, oh man, if I would have, I just know now how to speak to the next generation of, for me, quarterbacks, but it expands out from there. But to not only the quarterback, to the parent though. Like, because my dad and I went through that. We were trying to find the best way, and I know a lot of other parents are doing the same thing. You're trying to find the best way to maximize your potential. There's Doug.
Yes,
like everybody's doing, like that's Papa Bear. That's what you do. And it's here now. It wasn't there when I was looking. I didn't start having back episodes until I started doing the training. Before it was just run around, be a kid, play. Then you started. It's reached the 8th grade level.
I got a question for you and Gary, because Gary and his dad were like these world-class basketball coaches at the girls, 12 to 15.
I had the boys. He had the girls.
When I look at the big leagues and all the different sports, to me they don't look much better than the guys in the 70s and 80s. The Pirates guys, the Joe Morgans, Johnny
myth.
Bench. They don't look much better than Babe Ruth and Jackie Robinson.
The technology's better.
The technology's better.
The technology's better.
We think.
Could all this training be a waste of time?
Yes.
What? Cody,
the wrong training.
Cody,
Yeah, the wrong train. No, because he's right. Because we could, if we got the right map,
Yeah.
and we know what we're doing, then it's all going to be feeding what would have been natural and observed.
But
back in the 70s.
Sherry's a Goata.
But
I don't know if she's a Goata now, but Sherry was a Goata, right?
Yeah,
she had great feet that were straight.
Yeah.
She scored
She was 5'2". She scored 30 points a game.
30 points a game.
Yeah.
She humiliated people.
Yeah. But
awesome.
to go back and answer what you asked Ricky about, could he play? Dude, I'm watching him work out in the gym. How old are you?
Going back.
Dude,
33.
but what I'm saying is like, how good could you have been if you would have had the right map? Because all of the injury takes away from the reads and all of that stuff like that. When you sitting in the pocket in 6'5", and 400 in the middle's coming at you and the pocket's closing down, and you can't read because your back's killing you from the power cleans you did last weekend in the gym. How can you read that? How good could you have been? I mean, Brady and them got the map, apparently.
Right.
And they doing the stuff right now at a high level.
Cashed out. Yeah, in that photo.
That's
what
rebuttal.
That's what I try to get back to the athlete is I'm like, think of how much more you have in the tank if you're not just trying to get by during the practice week.
Right.
Like if you're just not trying to get by and just stay alive stay healthy for 16 weeks.
Well, dude, they say
weeks.
it. All our announcers say it all the time, right?
Yeah.
The first thing comes out their mouth is, "Well, good thing they got a bye week coming up because they'll get to recover." No, bitch, they're gonna be the same fucking dudes that they was moving in reverse in 2 weeks from now.
Inside ankle bone low in 2 weeks.
Somebody's gonna wave a magic wand over them, and they're gonna come back and go, we forward locomotive monster machines now."
It's what I tell you. I told you all this all the time. I use it often, but when we would be at OTAs, DeMaurice Smith, NFLPA, they would jump in. And he'd be like, "You draw the line in the room," and he'd say, "This half of the room is going to get a joint replacement of the knee or the hip in the NFL." So like the stats are obviously overwhelming that it coincides with what we're saying.
Well,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's obviously something going on.
Everything that we're saying too is, I had a guy on my Instagram today arguing with me, and he posted a video with Kyrie Irving and somebody else that's always hurt, and he's showing the inside ankle bone low, he's showing a crossover, and then his rebuttal to me is I have NBA and NFL strength coaches that would beg to differ with you, and I'm like, thank you for validating my point.
Thank you.
And they fucking got everybody underneath them hurt.
Yep.
You know, and then the other thing is I really don't care what the NFL and NBA strength coaches say, because it's the idiots that they spend 8 months with that's tearing them up. Yeah. It's them guys got them for 6 weeks, and then they in the film room the whole time. Yeah. How much lifting are you really doing? You was there. When you with the Chiefs and you drafted, you going in there. Maybe when you was a rookie and you felt like you had to impress somebody.
Right.
But after that, what happened after that? What happened when you came back for your second year and it's like, this dude ain't lifting. This guy's not lifting. They showing up 15 minutes late and stuff. Their bodies ain't ready, and they doing it. Why? Because they're breaking down more and more and more every year, and they just associating it with the work. They don't know what about the work is hurting them. Just the less I do, the longer I seem to extend this contract.
That's a great way to put it. Most people do that like later in the career. You'll see those guys year 9, year 10. They're like, yeah, I'm doing yoga. I'm in the hyperbaric chamber. I'm sleeping more. It's full-on recovery mode. Yeah, I walked away from the weights. They don't know why, but I heard those conversations all the time. You know, and it's like, dude, the recovery industry is growing. It's flourishing.
It's booming.
Wow. 1.5 million in recovery in a year.
Amazing.
LeBron, you mean to tell me the top genetic athlete that we have maybe ever?
Right.
Because genetically, he's better than Jordan.
Yeah,
he's got to be, because if not, he wouldn't. He'd just be like some dude working at the 7-Eleven or some shit. You know what I'm saying? It was real good in basketball when he was a kid. Now he's 1.5 million, load management, and all of this stuff to what? Extended another year. He's trying to push to probably play with his son. That's what I would imagine. But it's the same case over and over. All the superstars in the league: Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant. Everybody's hurt, dude.
Yep.
What's the guy, Abid or whatever, that got hurt yesterday?
Joe.
There was another one. I didn't even know. Oh yeah, we saw that.
I don't know if it's a sprained PCL or if
it looked bad. It was a big heel strike.
It looked real bad.
It's I mean, LeBron's an interesting case, but he's inside ankle bone high too.
Yeah,
there's a lot there that saves him. He's got the bow set. Yeah, it's a big old bow, and the left side will almost complete it, but it's got the duck foot, and it's good to learn. It's good to learn from everybody's movement patterns. No question. I think we kind of like put people on a pedestal. We don't want to, like, we can learn something from each pattern from each person, or see it a little bit different. And that's what the slow motion allows. But
the game has changed. It's the game is now what Larry Bird did back in the 80s. It's just backdrop, 3-pointers. Backdrop, 3-pointers. The defense is not there. A lot of them can't shoot free throws.
Well, it's designed like that. 8 seconds across half court. You got these illegal defenses. Can't double team an open man without the ball. I mean, a guy without the ball. It's all set up.
You know way more about basketball than me and Cody do. You're like, I'm like, what are the rules? I thought it was 10 seconds across the court.
That changed.
That was the last time I paid attention.
It was at one time.
Yeah.
They speeded it up for the superstars, because now you get the one-on-one showtime. The
right.
Go to the hole. I mean, they're really not running offenses. They just out of each other's way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm always fascinated by that discussion, like the different eras of basketball, because I didn't really like watch it. Like, I watched the highlights and stuff, so I cannot say I was a fanatic of NBA.
In the 80s, bro, it was a hatchet show, bro. Yeah. You win the lane, bro, you got your
the highlights do reflect that. The highlights
Larry
reflect
Bird
that.
and Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish, but they would, and the Piston bad boys,
they were the soft guys, the Pistons.
Yeah.
The chiropractors exist because of those dudes, bro. They would just annihilate your ass.
This is why this works, because they cover the shit that we didn't see, and we helped them out with the shit that they haven't seen.
They were brutal.
Yeah.
Hey, while you was being an NFL quarterback, we were watching TV.
Y'all were watching TV.
They would talk about, well, they're not going to be able to come in the lane. Well, what do you mean they're going to?
Because we're going to beat their ass.
Yeah. That's how it was. They wouldn't go into the lane. And if somebody didn't go into the lane, they would lose that and one situation. So, you know, what's the guy's name that's with Shannon Sharp?
Skip Bayless.
Skip. He hates
Did
LeBron.
I know we were talking about Skip tonight?
He hates
Great
LeBron,
basketball
bro. This
player.
dude hates LeBron. He's like, this LeBron James supposed to be the best ever because he was from Chicago. He loves MJ. And he says, this dude's supposed to be the best ever. He won't drive into the lane when it really matters because he can't hit a free throw. How you going to be the best ever when you can't hit a free throw?
No.
If you can't hit a free throw, you're not an assassin. And it's Skip. I like Skip.
Dude, the thing is, you go to the park back in the day, if they had to do with a Bill Lambia jersey on, you wanted him on your team.
Yeah, right.
If that
The
dude,
enforcer.
if his idol's Bill Lambia, come on, first pick.
The enforcer.
The unorthodox white dude right there.
What about Rick Mahorn? They had two of them. They were like
They had
twins.
a lot of them. They had a lot of them.
I'd like stop and think about. I'm like,
Dude,
who's
Dennis
that?
Rodman, dude, you couldn't be,
Dude,
you
they
couldn't
cripple
go
you.
in the
He
lane.
was inside
on the
Ichabod
way.
High,
They
wasn't
would
he?
cripple you. No, they would cripple you.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Last Dance was kind of catching our generation up.
Yeah,
He's kind of giving us a little.
It's rough, man. But Larry had. Let me just give you an idea how good this kid was. He had the duck feet, but he was 6'11", so he was given that genetic lottery card. He had these big old hands, and he developed a shot that started from behind his head. Dude, you couldn't stop the guy's shot. All he had to do was he was 6'11". He step behind the 3-point line and do this. It was a flick of the wrist. He would rain. He won like 4 3-point championships. He would just rain down threes on people. And he was clever though, like LeBron. See, that's the thing about basketball.
LeBron's IQ is amazing.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
He knows the game
He knows
inside
it
and out.
inside out.
Well, he gets everybody
He's a
involved
student.
too.
Yeah.
And then in the fourth quarter, he does some things where he don't have to really be. He picks and chooses his battles late in the game.
That's why he has to
Yeah.
stack teams to win. Look, MJ never stacked a team. He stayed in one place. There was no stack. Like he had Pippen, but Pippen was wold.
It was like Michael, when Michael would go to the hole, it's like, man, that looked heroic.
You
Like,
was always like-
he had to do a lot to get there because of his
It was
size.
the end of a movie
And LeBron
all the
just
time.
goes.
Yeah.
LeBron to get out of his way.
Dude,
it's like the
MJ
ball and just bam.
MJ never
would
had
have to
AD.
he would have to get real crafty in there.
MJ
Corner.
never had an AD. MJ never had a Dwayne Wade. And Kyrie,
Scotty,
I would
you gotta talk about
but
Scotty, though.
Scotty was defense. He wasn't no offensive juggernaut like Kyrie. The brilliance of LeBron is the fact that he understands that he can't win without other superstars.
Yeah, he builds it.
He knows the game.
Correct. And he knows the game, and he can't win without super. And he don't know it's his movement liabilities, but so he's smart. He went and stacked a few teams.
I've always
and won.
hoped that we could get a hold of him, even just for his kid who just had
him.
him. in his-
So his meniscus.
Right. Because you could.
He's super
Like, dude, I'll
duck
show
footed.
you.
I mean, it's
Show
learned
it to you.
behavior, right? He's in that
Right.
house. He's in that
Mimicry.
house every day. And probably the thing with him too is he's probably front chain dominant. So because he's got in that computer era and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting in school and all of that stuff.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you add front chain with the severe duck feet, and he's probably not going to be inside ankle bone high. So it's a recipe for disaster. Where he's really a boater. I wouldn't call him a
He's a
boater.
he's a boater.
He's a boater, and then he's the most gifted human being.
No, I'm just saying from when you're inside ankle bone high, because everybody will say, well, why hasn't he had an ACL or an Achilles?
That's why, because
Because you can explain
butt.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the corner would obviously explain
Oh,
why
yeah.
the groin
and
and
he's
the
going to
hammy.
go
For
down.
him, it's growing
as-
and hammy.
the-
Yeah, growing and
the
He's
hammy.
corner-
going to go
growing
down
and
as
hammy.
one of the most durable players. Minutes-wise?
Yeah.
One of the most durable players ever.
Yeah.
So that's what another thing people can't do is look at what we're saying and understand that it is muscular, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the thing is how is it in LeBron's head? Like, what is LeBron thinking when he's scoring 40? When am I going to pull his hamstring? When am I going to pull his groin? How much is he being held back by his movement? Could you imagine?
Yeah,
him
That's
floating
why you don't
through
go into the
like
paint.
Jordan.
See, that's why Skip doesn't understand that because he's just a talking head. But you don't go to the paint because going to the paint means you got to be a locomotive forward mover. To go into the paint, into the traffic, you got to be a forward locomotive mover. But Skip don't get that.
Yeah.
He don't get that LeBron knows that he can't do that.
Donovan Mitchell. Violent.
Donovan
Aggressive.
Mitchell. Yeah.
Ja. Aggressive. They attack mode. That's why it reminds people of Michael. Because they're very attack, very heels away. Cody always posted.
Yeah, Cody, you like Ja a little bit, huh?
I like basketball. I watch more basketball.
He
than
probably
I give
watches
him
more than we're giving him credit for.
Used to play a
You
lot.
know who I watched?
I'm still watching that. I'm still watching that.
watched the G-
indigenous guy.
I watched the G League, and I watched only when Jalen's with
Jalen,
the
yeah.
That's it.
I catch all of Jalen's highlights, and I'm like, yep, I love that
ESPN
team.
Plus. I got all the SWAC games because half my athletes are playing at Southern and Grambling, and
Right.
then I got because they playing right now because of the COVID thing, and then I get all the G League games, so I could watch all the guys that I've been working with recoding.
You said that today. That's
Absolutely.
what's fun about it.
Yeah, it's like, well, now I got to get season tickets to the Goal Nola Gold. Now I got to watch.
Yeah, we
these.
got to go. Well, you
I got to get Google.
Carl
Plus,
came
yeah.
in today. Barron, me and Donna was sitting in the office, and one of the kids, Barron, came in from Shaw, and he walks out. He's like, "Man, I just had to come tell the family hello." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the awards.
Dude,
you know,
today
that-
was epic.
yeah.
Go
It was crazy.
to Joe walks in. Yeah, Carl Meyer walks in.
Irv Smith.
Irv Smith walked in. Yeah, 4
Dude,
years ago, everybody's in awe.
You know-
now we're like, oh, this is Irv Smith.
And
monster.
Irv and Carl are very similar. They both big stature, big guys, and they, you know, they kind of are the guys that are with. Well, Irv is brand new to the program, but Carl's been in there for over a year. So when you look at Carl and you're like, well, wait a minute, you could have muscles and be Goata. Like
He even said that today.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't lose any size, gain speed. In fact, he feels like he has more mass.
yeah, he does. You know why? Because he's working the forward locomotive
Yeah.
muscles now
That are supposed to be bigger.
That are supposed to be bigger, right?
The glutes. Everything.
Yeah,
The glutes so
right.
big. I know.
He got a big
For forward
chest.
gear.
That's good.
What are you talking about? Back chain dominance.
Big
You want
chest.
to, if you want to have a big glutes, big hammies, the power movers, you need it. It's not the hip thrust. It's not the hip thrust.
No.
Back that way.
Take it right. Yeah. That's great stuff, man. That's
The
great
glute
stuff.
bridge.
What is band planning on doing with this anyway? This is going to be like an historical
This
bullshit.
is just us just shooting the shit. There's probably a few clips in here you can run on the IG.
I'll tell you what. If this is going to be a historical document for Goata, then what we need to do is we need to introduce ourselves formally. So, Cody, why don't you start?
Cody Wood, formally.
I guess like
man.
it's like a
Yeah, who the
lab
fuck-
weekend intro.
Who the fuck?
are you,
Who the
dude?
fuck are you?
Cody Wood. I live in Montana. Dude, you fucking just got real boring all of a sudden.
I'm Cody. I'm boring. I live in Montana.
All right.
I'm an occupational therapy assistant. Both parents OTs. Found Goata for that reason. What you said. Trying to figure out how to get people before they get hurt. It's been a wild ride, and it seems we are achieving the dream.
Yeah. RJ, what about you, bro?
We don't have a mic.
RJ don't have a mic. RJ don't have a mic. I'll go.
Go ahead.
Ricky Stanzi from Cleveland. Met these guys a couple years ago. Previously, before that, I had been kind of just studying movement since really 2011 when I left Iowa, and trying to understand it from a quarterback perspective with the throwing motion, and then my own kind of trials and tribulations with my own body just kind of made this sort of snowball roll, and it just one thing after another, and then once I was done playing and I had kind of spent all my time on the movement stuff, that was when I came across these guys on IG, and they were talking about some of the things that I had been looking at with Spinal Engine and Nature, and just few talks with Gilly, talk with Gary, talk with Cody, and then Gilly's famous story: get on all fours and do the
all
crawl,
fours, bro.
Just crawl, get back to the singularity.
Yeah.
And so it was really just like, one piece after another for what felt like a decade, and then finally hitting home base. And it was like, I felt like we had known each other our whole lives. Like that's like the first conversation with Gilly, first conversation with Gary, Cody. I'm like, oh, this is it. This is what we're supposed to be doing. Let's go. And it's been put on the gas pedal for a while now.
Now, the difference between you and Gary was, and Gary's, I'm more spiritual. Gary's more religious. Would you say that? Or you?
No, I'm spiritual.
So I'm a spiritual guy. So I don't have a specific denomination that I'm associated with. I'm energy. I am everything. So that's my thing. Where you were searching like me, You were searching for answers
everywhere.
Gary was a little different. Yeah. So talk about that, Gary.
My whole thing was I was trying to pay bills. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, I was pushed by...
Can't be looking at fucking Fibonacci spirals and shit. I got bills to pay, bro.
Fibonacci?
Is Fibonacci going to pay me?
I can't fucking balance a checkbook.
Does Fibonacci got any money?
To fucking know the Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio?
The interest rate on his credit cards was 22.5.
Yeah.
He had 3 of them maxed out at $22,500.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, Fibonacci, Vortex Math,
Cryptocurrency.
How about fucking balancing a checkbook? You got a fucking solution?
Is that in this?
You got anything for that? Because I can't seem to pay this fucking light bill. You know what I'm saying? But no, it was. But I was doing what everybody else was doing, and there was no separation. And then that's when I knew that, you know, I said, well, the reason why I'm here is because I had a second chance. So I knew accountability had to be a part of what I was doing. So then when I'm pushing accountability and open-minded and bring me your report cards and sign social media contracts, and somebody comes in and challenges me on the training side of it, well, nobody ever did that. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody came in with, from a movement standpoint, like what I know now, what I've learned over the last 4 years is like what people can go a whole lifetime and never learn. And then, but it was because I had to open my mind, and probably having been a former drug addict that was like saved, I knew I had to be open-minded to certain things. And when you know, Gilly, when you came in, you knew what the story was, and like I always say, I appreciate your patience. Because let me tell you something, there ain't a fucking Goata coach yet that had the time to let this shit marinate.
Let me tell you something. Yeah. Ricky fucking blasted Lee today. That could have been you.
Yeah,
4 years ago.
It could have been. Well, it was in a way.
Yeah.
But the you know, and the thing is it takes a minute. It's hard to see something when your brain or your mind is filled with something else.
Yeah.
And then when you have levels of success, because you know the human nature is for somebody to go to success in the area where they've had success, right? Financially, I wasn't having success, but I was signing 20-something scholarships a year out of the gym. So it's like, hey, dude, I'm fucking signing all of these scholarships over there. Who you think you are?
Right.
Fucking title maker.
Right.
Fucking license plate guy.
Fucking license plates, dude.
Yeah, dude, come
What
on,
you know
man.
about-
Make
what
me
you
a
know
plate
about
that
D1,
says
bitch?
fucking world champion.
Right.
Make me one of them.
Yeah, make
you
me-
know what I'm saying?
You know how hard it is? You know how hard it is to say, to take that? Because I take that a lot.
I know.
You don't know nothing. You don't even have a degree in shit.
That's why you're able to see
and I'm
it,
like,
though.
and I'm like, yeah, this motherfucking dumbass on social media. You know,
And he don't even know what
He
you
don't
have.
even know. He don't even
You know
know.
what's the thing?
That's how I know you don't know. When you said that, I know you don't know.
Yeah, if you go to the
Hey,
ABC title
you think
page
that's
that
success?
he's got, it's like
A piece
a
of
burner
paper, bro?
account. It ain't even who he is.
No.
Like, hey,
No, they don't know this guy.
like
This is a lot of
and
access.
it happens all the time. Like, oh, you have no education on training. No, I have no education on the training that you do, but I wrote a fucking book, bitch, on the shit that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's about to go to the top seller.
Yeah.
you
know what I'm saying?
Let me make this point because this is really cool shit. Because me and Gary we kind of like poles, the opposite poles, and what I mean by that is, I just learned very early in life that the teacher will only appear when the student's ready. Now, the difference between me and Gary is, Gary wants to fucking take the student and drag him in to be ready. Does that make a little bit of sense? He's like, man, fuck this. I ain't gonna wait till this dude's a drug addict. He's gonna fucking walk away from his D1 scholarship. He's gonna ruin his life. I ain't gonna let that happen to him. I'm gonna take this little fucking bastard and I'm gonna grab him. I'm gonna make him ready. Right. That's the difference between me and you.
Yeah.
I feel like people got to fall on their face first. They got to have the Achilles rupture. They got to be a drug addict. They got to fucking go all the way to the bottom to turn around and come up. But I appreciate what you're doing, Gary, because I think if you can grab somebody and save them before they go to the bottom, that's better than getting to the bottom. Because a lot of times when they get to the bottom, they end up dead anyway.
Well, it's the ripple effect, right? It's everybody around you. It's my daughter. It's Kayla. It's her mother. That their lives would change because of the choices that I made. It's not, dude. When you have someone in your home that's living like that, you go with them. Like, it takes everybody. It drains the energy from around them. So, but the thing is like you said, it's getting somebody to see that. You know what I'm saying? Getting them to be able to have that intuition to say, you know what? I see what you're saying.
It's the aha moment.
There's not many Will Pools out there. The kid that was on the show.
He was there today, though. Yeah, Will.
I don't. Was he maybe this morning for a little while?
Yeah.
I don't know. He's got ACT prep and stuff too. But I'm saying that kid is way smarter beyond his years. He's got he's in the way he talks and the way he says things and the way his perspective is on things. It's crazy. If I would have had that kind of, I wasn't that smart. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't understand things. I couldn't comprehend like he could comprehend.
Right.
And no matter the way he gives it back to you or reciprocates it back, he knows exactly what you say. You know what I'm saying? He that kid's special. But you don't have a lot of them. As soon as me and Duck started talking to that kid, it was like, okay, hold on. This kid's different. And then when I had the podcast and I put him and Kayla and them on the podcast together with Joe, I'm like, well, I got 3 of them now because that way nobody's nervous and they comfortable. That kid could have had his own show.
He could have had his own show.
He could have had his own show. He had a lot to say. It was like therapy for him. But that's the special thing too. So that's when you go back to the spiritual side of what we was talking about is look at all the things that had to happen for this to go. You had to keep hanging in there and waiting for the right person to come along. But this whole 11 years of the triathlete world, and then I had to get my shit together. You know what I'm saying? For it to all mesh. And then you start doing some things and you start doing podcasts and kids are coming to the gym and they coming back and they like, I just stopped by to see the family. And then you got things that's saving kids' lives. And now you add saving careers and extending careers. How many things, dude, Irv Smith's in there talking about, I want to set up foundations. He's not sitting there. He could be chilling out, going to the house of athlete and all of that stuff, wrecking his body and preparing to, go to the clubs and all of that stuff because Florida's wide open with the club stuff. But he's like, dude, I'm here. I got 15 years I want to do this stuff. And he knows what he wants, but he don't want to do it for him. Right. He wants to do it because he wants to take care of everybody around him. So that's the opposite side of the dude that we're trying to shake and say, hey, motherfucker, what are you doing? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's already got that. Yep. And it's hard because
it's special when they're dedicated.
Yeah.
It makes it so much easier.
They selfless. You know what I'm saying? They're not they selfless. They want to give. You do it.
Yep.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
That's Gilly.
Gilly does it.
Papa Gil.
Yeah. Like, dude, this whole thing is you could have took the money that you put into getting Goata out there and probably, turned it into $20 million by now. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you know where to put it at.
Yeah, and it's been a great. The last 6 years has been a great run in the market, too. It's been.
Say, thanks for reminding me. Shit. As I'm staring at how much money this equipment cost.
Well,
in the house.
Well, but deep down inside, this guy that's as smart as RJ, the Sean Stank Redemption guy, he's the first guy since RJ that's pressed the fuck out of me. And he said something to me the other day. He said about the difference between the scientism personality, where they're interested in theories. It's not even real. And we're out here with skin in the game. And I'm like, dude, I got way more than skin in the game. I got fucking cartilage in my lumbar spine. I got 3 cartilages.
I lost it in the game.
It's in the game.
I turned it over. I turned it over.
I got like $250,000 in the game. With 3 fucking discs.
We're playing.
He's fucking like, you're insane, bro. I was like, I know I'm insane.
But it's like
pissed off.
Now look at it now though. Look at what you've gotten. It's like a gift. Like who could have looked at that and saw that and been like, and took it and did what you did with it?
Because I know. See, the pool kid is your journey to make sure that these kids have a way out. that they don't get caught up on the streets, that they don't end up like you, right? Because it happens a lot.
Yeah.
That's your
That's my
focus.
why.
Yep.
It's
That's
my
your
why.
why. My why is no fucking way a 21-year-old kid should go 14 years, 40 back episodes, 3 degenerative discs, no answers, and then one day have the answers. Because he had to go find them answers himself. Imagine somebody like Lisa. She's got that thing. I don't even know how to pronounce it, the EDS thing, where she's hypermobile and she gets hurt real easy. But imagine her not being able to figure out why after it's too late.
Yeah.
You know, there's people that commit suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they die in the process of overdosing and all of that stuff.
So my why is I got the money. I might as well try to find these kids before it's too late.
Right.
Yeah, the Travis
and
O'Connors,
and then you go back to
the
what
Donald
I'm saying
Clay
about
Juniors.
the spirituality side of it is you start bringing into these people into it, and you saving you getting the opportunity to give Will Poole a place to be.
Yeah,
you're giving these guys. You got, dude. This is therapy for guys like me and Donald to be in these places and working with these kids and give them back. Because if we don't give back, what's waiting for us out there, it can end your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just got all kind of little lanes and things, and it's this ripple effect of stuff that it's mind blowing when it really is a go to universe thing. And it's like, it's everything.
He's
it's
all
the
in.
world. Huh?
I'm all in. I like the name.
Yeah, it's everything. It's the universe.
Yep. Fractals.
Right.
Every now and again, I just say the word.
Buzzwords.
Fractals.
Singularity.
The thing with fractals is,
Yeah. Cody, if there's one thing you want to say to the world, because let's just assume we just started together. We just started.
Go back 2 years.
No, just right now. One thing. It's like
trust your
there's
eyes.
there's a certain
Email me, get certified.
Trust your eyes.
Look.
Get yourself an iPad.
Let me.
That's kind of what I'm focused on at this
Buy an
moment.
iPad.
I know
Check
y'all
my emails in the morning.
I know y'all getting this on y'all socials because I get it. Where people come in and they say, Coach Gill, I just want to let you know, you changed my life. Your material changed my life. I said, I know you're not getting it. They say, I know you're not getting any credit from the cadaver science community. I said, but they will say, you're going to go down in history, you and your team, as the people who changed the narrative to healing. So you got to have something to say about that because you're a part of that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal.
Yeah.
Shift, make change, create more access to more care. But
You say that all the
takes a
time.
village.
You say that all the time. Explain that to the world. Create more access to more care.
Create more people to do what we can do, and that creates more access to more care. So us four could see a lot of people, but we get tired of doing it.
Power
Sure.
numbers.
Sure.
Made the actual
Hive. Need to build a hive.
20 people
This.
in this
What this is.
house right
Yep.
now. Yeah, we need more houses.
Wait, I've seen this before. Is this
You
Sims?
know, the last year
Oh, yeah.
was
I think I know what we're doing here.
the last year was kind of a pause button in a way, but I think we'll also not ever know if it was good or bad. 'Cause
COVID?
Yeah,
I think COVID helped us.
Yeah, right.
Help
Like,
GLS.
I think people were at home with
Because we got
nothing to do.
positive attitudes.
And they get caught up in these debates, these acrimonial debates between us and the cadaver science community. And I think a few people started to root for the underdog. Hey,
Yep.
man,
Try to prove it wrong.
they got all these coaches and they got about 30 to 40,000 athletes. When are the athletes going to come out and say, I tore my Achilles? And every year that goes by, it's like
Nobody says it.
yeah.
keep waiting.
You getting out of the Achilles pain. It's Corey, you know, it's all these athletes.
Like-
Wait, I was hurt doing that, and now I'm not hurt doing this. That's not hard to figure out. It's
not hard to figure out.
If you have if the cup is filled and there's all these other preconceived notions in your mind, then you're not going to see it. And you're gonna create an excuse. The ego's gonna put up a blocker. But the people that come here, they've kind of slowly. Some people just dump the cup out, like I'm ready for something new. Some people kind of slowly pour it out, and those are the guys we've argued with. And then a year later or 6 months after, they come back and they're like, dude, you were right. Thank you. And then they're in the coaching certification. Yeah. People that we fought with. That's why I've always pushed back on you're mean. I'm like, hold up. Me and Gary have gotten into it with people on comment sections that are now thanking us and becoming coaches and are starting to see it. It's that tough love. The truth.
Tough love.
It's really just the truth. Like,
reality.
If you're, like for me, I told you the story, I'm looking for it. I was looking for the truth. Yeah. So a lot of people in here that are here for the cert, they were looking. Other people are kind of getting hit with this truth right now, like they have to look at it now. It's in your explore section. You got to just like we got to look at WOTA when we turn on search.
Or you're
going to start to keep looking at Goata, keep looking at Goata. Like, damn it, I can't ignore what Bolt's leg, what Brady's, what the Indigenous, what Michael, Simone, Ed. There's too many coincidences, right? Everything's you can explain it's all like the little nuances
in the injury.
Yeah, it's like there's just too many.
Yeah.
How many more do I got to show you?
Right.
I always ask that question. How many ACLs and Achilles off the same inside ankle bone low would you need to see? Because if you're not convinced, it just tells me that you haven't looked at them yet. So how many do you need? Should we do 40? Would 50 do it? Maybe 60?
The other thing is we're not asking you to do nothing crazy like walk on your hands. Dude, get on the ground and crawl.
We just want you to drop in, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Look, just get on your knees, do some child rockers and stuff. If you got back pain, tell us how you feel in 2 weeks. That's it. And then come back and talk to me. That's what I'm telling them now. I'm like, look, you could argue with me, bro. Just try it.
Just try it.
Try it. I'll send you 2 exercises for free.
Yep.
You tell me if you feel better.
Right.
They're not going to come back and they get because somebody that's looking, somebody that don't want to be in back pain ain't going to lie and feel great and go, dude, my back's still killing me. And then you see him on his Instagram page a week later dunking a basketball. You know what I'm saying? You're going to tell on yourself because they're going to tell on you on social media.
It's unbelievable. What about you, Rick? If you had something to tell to the world.
I do that all the
time. Rick, let me just say this, bro, because I'm not the greatest business person in the world, but I have okay intuition. They're gonna write books about us one day. They're gonna write books about us. So let's assume they are gonna write books about us, and you can go forward 20 years. You know, I'll probably be passed on. I'm the older guy, but.
20 years? Gilly, you're like 40 years.
55, 75.
You're going to be here. We're going to keep you inside ankle bone high, back chain down.
That's the easy part.
Your circulation gets better every year. What are you talking about?
Going to Bermuda.
I don't know. Yeah. Sometimes on some of these backpacks.
Where you going, bro? Where you going,
Some of these backpacks, bro, you can hear the bears.
Oh, you might hear a bear might come and eat your ass or something. That's different.
Okay, yeah.
Dude, that would be fucked up.
That would be, yeah.
Go to leave.
Them bears are Goatas.
No, but I mean, let's just assume you're looking back now, the end game. Stephen Covey, the great personal motivation guy, would say, think of the end in mind and go backwards. You know, you're trying to talk to somebody back in time. What would you tell them?
Oh, if I was trying to explain, if I had gone into the future, I think in the future it's going to be people are going to be like, you'll be like, yeah, you know, go. Everyone's like, yeah, like duh. Like, of course you move like that. Like, I think it's going to be so obvious that everyone's going to be like,
Goata's going to be like Instagram. Duh.
Goata's going to be like all the other things
we use Instagram.
Yeah, of course we do that. Like,
the standard.
Email. Yeah, it's going to be like just the thing. It's going to be so obvious because it's going to be, there's so much content going out that, like I said, the video quality's not getting worse. The video library's not shrinking. The ACLs are going to continue to confirm themselves. The bow in the corner is going to continue to confirm itself. And so eventually it's going to get to a point where everyone's going to be like, fine, dude. Fine. It is what it is. Yeah. It's Goata. And then it's going to go to that next level where it's going to be like, yeah, obviously, duh, you don't do Goata. I was always doing it.
I got a question for y'all too, because y'all
shitting on us in the comments section.
Y'all too are working with the most athletes. Even though we're putting out all this amazing content, and we charge an institute fee that's well over $4,000, and a 12-week online prep course, and people come and they still kind of don't get it. How do you explain that?
I think it goes back to the empty the cup thing. Some people just need a little more time to let some things go, and you see it when you see it. So, like, what do we tell the coaches? What should you be doing? watching
Film.
tape. Because the more tape you watch, the more you empty the cup. The more you strip away at the things that you thought. Dorsiflexion, turn on the tape. Shit's gone. Core brace, okay, turn on the tape. Gone. All the shit you thought is gone when you actually watch the tape. So when you're talking about these things, I know you're not watching the tape. And that's the only issue. It's always going to come back to, and that's the biggest thing that we have with people is everybody watches tape. Bullshit. You ain't got huddle technique. You don't have 60 videos of indigenous people running around butt naked. I know you ain't watching it.
Dude, let me tell you.
I know you ain't watching that. You're not watching 75 ACL straps. You are not. You're a liar.
Butt fucking naked.
You
ain't a good Goata coach.
You ain't going to see it. You got to watch the tribes.
I cut my teeth on the Karubo tribe and the Olympians. The less they wore, the more I understand. Mm-hmm. You know, the less they and the guys always got too much clothes on. Like if you want the guys, you go to the indigenous. If you want the females, you go to the Olympics. yeah. I don't know why. Just the guys are just
easier
they wear
to
like
see
long
the
pants and all
landmarks.
kind of shit. I don't know.
It's easier to see landmarks.
Yeah.
But it's tape. Like I just think that it's a new way to coach for people.
Yeah.
It's a new medium. We were kind of used to what? Exercises. Everybody wants to learn exercises. And we're like, no, we're going to learn a blueprint. I'm like, but what am I going to do? No, you're going to have to kind of stop, go back, and learn a new blueprint. And then once you got that blueprint in your mind, you can see it, all these exercises appear. But I need you to hang out and not freak out about the exercises for a second. Just need you to see it first.
So when our Goata coaches, and some of them actually passed the test, put up them shitty exercises.
Because they've been passing tests their whole life.
That's why
they don't understand the blueprint. They really didn't get the blueprint.
It's like the vocabulary
right.
section.
Goata, you might have to change the test to all blueprint.
Maybe they got a cheat sheet out there.
I am kind of working on that. Like images of this image, what's correct?
Yeah. Do you see? Can you spot the difference? Like a kid's book?
Difference.
Yeah. Can you spot the WOTA?
Simplest, but then also,
Are you a robot?
Where's
Click the
Waldo?
box.
Where's Waldo? Where's Waldo?
Where's
Where
Waldo?
is the air?
Where's the Waldo?
Circle the air.
Yeah. I
Those
like it.
types of questions.
I like it.
Because I mean, I wrote that multiple choice quiz so we could get the CEUs, and
You know, Cody's on
like
top
a
of it.
lot of people
He's
could
got
pass
it.
it without the course.
He got it.
You could just guess.
He knows.
You know, like you could go in and be like, out of these, that one probably makes the most sense. How I got through school.
Yeah. It's easy when it gets to that.
I read at a high level, and I could go through a test and kind of eliminate.
Here's the other part, Gilly, though. And me and Cody were, I think it was you and I, Cody, but we were talking about not just, because you mentioned athletes today, or maybe it was you. What's your favorite go-to athlete? There's kind of like, there's also like these scenarios. Because like people can't wrap their head around how an endurance runner and what Michael Jordan's double pressure wave release and Nolan Ryan's pitch and John Elway's throw, how it's all the same thing.
It's all the same thing.
They can't see those scenarios because there's a blind spot.
Because they don't have the blueprint.
Yeah, there's a blind spot because you're not seeing it.
That makes a
So you have
whole
to
lot
like
of
see
that
these
makes a whole lot of
scenarios.
sense.
You have to see the double pressure wave. Can you see that? Okay, good. Now can you see the endurance runner? Okay, good. Now see this. Do you see how it looks slightly altered because of how a fractal can shrink and expand? Okay, well, it's still the same fractal. It's still a bow and a corn, still a spiral. You're just like, well, it's not exactly like Michael Jordan's leg in this exact picture. Yeah, but that's explained if you stop being a moron.
Well, they looking
and just
for
let
the,
some fucking common sense go in
They're
your
looking for
fucking
what's
head
wrong.
for a second. That's why I just get pissed. Like,
trying
you
to
motherfucker.
They looking for what's wrong.
Yeah.
They're looking to disprove.
Yes.
Instead
They want to
of
win on a
prove.
technicality.
So that's human nature. You're never going to change that, right? Somebody with a negative attitude, a negative perspective is going to walk in and they're always going to find a negative. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, look at the room. It's beautiful. It's wrapped. It's nice. Power, but well, they still got the brown doors up.
And
There's
the chicken
always
shit.
going to be
And the
that
chicken
guy.
shit.
Yeah, there's always going to be that guy.
The
You know what I'm
glass half
saying?
full guy.
So
the
he's going to
pessimist.
walk in there and he's going to say, well, I saw Michael Jordan do this one time. Oh, really? Good.
Right.
Once.
So what?
But that's the same
Once.
person that's
Yeah.
like, you don't have any science. But that's what you're rolling with?
Yeah.
A photo that you're misunderstanding
What's your
is
boy,
your science now?
Chad
That's
Hale.
your reason for going inside ankle bone low?
Chad Hale, I'm going to destroy
Have fun.
Goata in one sentence. A tornado starts in the sky.
Oh. Oh my God.
Oh, how that destroy you? Thank you,
dude.
but it don't move.
Don't
so that
do
bitch
shit
touches the
until it
ground.
touches the ground. Your shitty analogy.
We teach movement.
We just ratioed you. We just ratioed you, dude.
Hey,
Yeah, you're going forever.
You got
now.
ratioed right
You
there.
disappeared forever.
Tornadoes start in the
Hey.
sky.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you
What
got
is
a
this,
kid doing
fucking-
drop-ins.
Bro, stop. It's almost a PSA to the nonsense.
let's do a segment on throw him under the bus.
Yeah, I mean, you could.
Throw him.
Kind of have
Throw him
it.
Yeah.
under the bus.
You kind of
Dude,
have
let's
it.
do this. Throw him under the bus.
Is this thing live?
Chad Hale. Is he with Mo Wells?
Nah,
No, it's the
them's-
San Diego
they in
people.
the house of athletes.
It's the dudes that want to pretend like
It's
they learned
Conley
Goata.
and them. It's
the
Conley
guys that we
and all-
tried to be nice to.
They wanna
we
make
tried
it
to
their
help out. We tried to explain it to them. They didn't want to listen. They wanted to make it difficult, and they didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to actually learn. And then they want to say, "Oh, I know Goata. I learned Goata." You never talked to me. We never had a full conversation about it. You didn't come down to lab weekend and spend time in the Slack channels. You didn't watch the videos and take the quizzes. You know Goata. It's pure ignorance to start. And then
Well,
you
he had
gave them
those
your
messages.
time. Cody gave you your time.
Dude, we gave
and then
Chad
you
Hale
tried to come
free
back
cert-
and then
Yep.
shit on it.
Yep.
You tried to come back and shit on. We tried to help you, bro.
He goes, man, inside ankle bone high changed all my training. That was in a message, and
yeah.
I screenshot it.
Okay,
and that's
bud.
how we
Like,
responded.
stop.
We're like, hey, man,
Cut the shit.
What
Cut the
about
shit.
What about Kelly Starrett, Eric Cressy, and Dr. Wesley Wong all having knee surgeries?
Too invested. They can't go back.
Yeah, well,
They can't go back.
Wait. I mean, you can't really say that about Kelly Starrett because he was picking up weights in his gym. He was cleaning the
No,
gym.
that was Eric.
Eric Cressy. Yeah, my bad. Eric Cressy. He was just picking weights up and he blew his
Yeah.
knee out. That don't count.
The
That's
other two,
convenient.
Wesley,
Yeah.
Dr. Wesley Wong, Dr. Kelly Starrett, they said something happened like 7 years ago and they was putting
just-
it on. Now, they've been selling shit to people for 7 years.
See, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
It's hypocrites. Yeah.
And then the other thing, like with Bob Stroop, you gonna sue us, Bob?
Bob,
I knew this
on,
thing was
Bob.
coming up.
try
No,
about it,
I'm
Bob.
saying, what you gonna
Yeah,
do? You gonna
seriously,
sue us?
dude.
Guess what, dude?
Seriously.
You could sue us. You could take Gilly's $100 million. You could take my $35, and you could fucking guess what?
Guess
The
what,
math
bitch?
ain't changing.
The math ain't gonna change.
It ain't
It won't
changing
change
the
the
truth.
bone corner, Bob.
Yeah.
It's still gonna be a corner
Yeah.
after the lawsuit's
Yeah.
settled, bro.
Yeah, you just gonna be a rich
The
woter,
motherfucker's
bitch.
still gonna be getting surgery. Ain't gonna change.
Who else you talk about? PJ Performance.
PJF.
Oh God, RJ made him.
RJ.
We gonna have
punished.
to pull my RJ.
Dude,
in
you
for
know
this
what's a
one.
trip? People send me
RJ
stuff all
just-
the time, and it says
Oh,
post
almost had it.
unavailable.
Oh, you almost had it. How many? That's another funny
Hey,
segment.
yeah.
How many
Hey.
posts you get sent to you a day that says
Every
post
day.
unavailable? I
Every
go
day.
blocked.
Who
They
is
go,
it?
really? You can't see it? I go,
Dude,
are they showing
you
you
wanna
Woda?
know- you wanna
Then
know
why do you
how-
think I'm blocked?
You want to know how bad it is? In my notes, I have copy and pasted to fucking screen recorded, bro. They probably got me blocked.
Yeah,
Copy, paste,
screen
stick it in
recorded,
the
they
thing.
probably got me
That's how many times it happens.
Screen
today, 'cause
recorded, they probably
I'm
got me
saying
blocked.
it.
Yes.
And then what happens is you get like 30 people that'll do it at one time because they see the post. Because
That's
they
how you know they're seeing it.
Well,
They're
not only
seeing
that,
it. Like, that's Woda. Caught it.
I think his camera just went out. Are we working on batteries, man? Or we got straight 110?
This is actually Vortex math powered. This is a test. We're actually-
Yeah, look at the map bag.
Look at the map.
dog.
We need those. Randy, we need some of those.
Yeah,
All right.
Randy. We gotta
All
we gotta get Randy and Brandon.
Let's
There's
get
a lot of people I
let's
want
get
sitting
to
at
my,
this spot.
Let's get to. Well, he's not my favorite.
Who?
Naudi Aguilar.
Oh, man. Who's that?
all I know is we getting
Bro,
way
he shouldn't have said
by
something.
FP.
He
that
shouldn't have
dude
said
goes-
something.
That dude goes.
That's what he
inside
should. He
ankle
shouldn't have
ball
said
run.
something.
He
He
said-
should have stopped.
well,
He shouldn't have even brought it up.
because he never really, he
fucked up.
kind of stayed away from it.
He fucked
except
up.
maybe in his little inner circle.
Yeah, that's fine.
But then
I know
he came
everybody
up
else
with
is doing that.
My industry has such fucking idiots.
Yeah.
or something like that.
I heard you.
We know.
Yeah,
I heard
we caught
you.
it. We got the screen record,
I heard you.
buddy. We know.
Stop.
Now it's
Yeah.
time to make the post.
Well-
That's when we did like
Well,
that
you-
live for
Gary
an
calls
hour.
me. Gary calls me. We're going live this morning. I'm like, all right, here we go.
Let me ask you this:
And see.
if you're Naudi, or David Reck, or Kelly Starrett and all these guys, and the pendulum is, let's say we're here in the pendulum swing, and then right about here, right, that's mass momentum. where they just get knocked off the cliff. What do you think some of them have the mind to say, I'm going to embrace Goata?
Well,
you think Nadi would one day say,
no,
yeah, I'm not the king on the block? You think
no.
David Reck would say, I'm not the king on the block? You think Kelly Starrett would say, or Stuart McGill would say, we all need to embrace Goata because this is the true healing time, and we had the wrong map? You think they would all say yes to that?
No.
Then they're not true healers.
Ask them.
No, they not. I mean,
doesn't matter. We don't need you.
Yeah.
I need him to quit creating the mess so we can stop having to clean it up.
Like we talked about earlier, though. It's just
good for business.
It's a
Job
process.
security.
Everything's a process. It has to be. You got to go through this.
Dude,
y'all know that?
Human behavior.
Nobody
Like
that.
wants to be wrong. Half the time that arguments go on, it's because somebody's trying to be right. It's not like, okay, you know what? Let's settle this all for what? Let's sit in a room somewhere and let's all hash this out and show you why Goata's better. And then you try to show me why your stuff is better. And we'll start with this. No non-contacts.
That's why
That's the measuring stick.
Yeah. That's the measuring stick.
That's the new measuring stick.
But it's also like, when you see it everywhere, when you see it in the crawling baby, when you see it in the super athlete, and then they go back, well, what's yours built on? Because this is what ours is built off of.
Yeah.
Well, I swung a club one day and my back loosened up.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Yeah.
That's not the fucking answer. Man.
Yeah,
That's
that ain't
Nadi
deep
and
enough for me.
Yeah.
That ain't deep enough for me.
Yeah.
I need
That's not
more.
enough. But the
now,
other guys,
I done talked so much shit, and I stood up in front of so many crowds, and I acted like such an asshole, and I wasn't sure. Cause, dude, let me tell you something. They know something was incomplete. Why would Weck bring us up there? Why would they do that? You know what I'm saying? Because they know that there was something different.
If Goata was wrong, why would you even argue?
Yeah, that's
If it was
right.
wrong, why would you even
Yeah.
argue it? You wouldn't have to waste your
If
time
you
with
come
it.
in there and say, "Hey, Gary, you're fat and ugly." All right, buddy.
Thanks.
next.
By the way,
Rick, you're skinny.
You look much better.
That's a fact.
Rick, you're
And a
skinny
year
and
later.
slow.
Shit, bro.
I went back, went to the Go to Feet hashtag a couple
damn.
days ago.
The
And there's
Go
an
to
old
Feet
video
hashtag.
of you with the knee, talking about the knee.
Oh,
Jordan.
yeah.
Letting them know.
I was about to pop.
You about to pop in the
Fuck.
comments.
I got
Man, you
stung
don't
by
look
some
like you move
bees,
very
bro. The
much.
swelling didn't go down.
That's some funny shit.
Took about a year for the swelling to go
Every
down.
now and again, you'll tag me on a thread on your page or whatever, comment section, and it's just they can't argue.
So they
it's
call
like,
me fat.
God, you're fat.
Yeah.
You're a shitty quarterback. Okay. Sure. Like it's still a golden corner.
Still not a corner.
It's
Still a corner.
Yeah.
Still a corner.
Yeah.
I had somebody the other day. He was inside ankle bone low. He was a fitness guy. Beautiful.
Shocker.
Beautiful. Like mid-50s like me. And I hashtagged Woda. And somebody was like, I know what you're trying to do, bro. Let me tell you something. This guy right here can beat you in anything. I'm like, anything? Anything. I said, this dude right here from Sweden with the inside ankle bone low, I said, I know for a fact he's goofy because I grew up with athletes. And if you meet me in Las Vegas next week, I'll bet him $5,000 he can't beat me in golf. I'll be there next week on Friday.
Tell him meet you there and walk. Tell him.
Yeah, look, dude, the comment went quiet. The dude fucking went away. Like he didn't know what to say. Like, well, hold on. When the money's on the line, all of a sudden, bro, it's like roaches, bro. Flash the light on them.
They're gone.
They're gone.
Every time Gilly asks somebody to find them an inside ankle bone high shred,
It goes quiet.
well, yeah, you guys are mean. I just asked you to go do what you asked everybody else to do. Where's the
make
research?
words up. You
Go
make
do
words up.
research. You want research? We did it. My huddle technique is filled.
Dude, all
I
you got to do
mine.
is
I can show you.
do is pull a book and just start writing a whole bunch of words down and make
That's my
vocabulary,
favorite thing in the world to
and then
do.
take the new words. Explosivity.
RJ,
Explosivity
every
is
time
a
I
real
do
word
that,
now.
RJ likes it.
This is what I'm
RJ
saying.
likes it.
This is what-
Dude, every time I do that, RJ likes it. Like I'll go
up
like
a
a
new word.
paragraph. I'll say, wow. During
Wow,
the quantum
the-
phase
Period,
of
exclamation
external
point.
rotation, during and I'll make up a few words. The implosation.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Wait, the bad thing
and
is
at the same time, and this will happen, and RJ will like it.
Yeah.
And then somebody will say, That's kind of complicated. I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah. You know why?
Thank you.
Because he's doing this half the time. He's talking to the phone like this, and he's like telling it all kind of stuff, and then he just presses send.
Yep.
And it looks all, dude, your boy that runs the whole thing can't even talk right. He can't even type.
Listen,
Gilly
is so secure with the slow motion video that he don't even got the time to spell check for your ass. The video is so super tight that I'm just gonna fucking say these words, and whatever Siri figures it out to be, send it. Yeah, you can't even use it against us.
Gilly can talk. Siri can't comprehend shit.
That's
she
what I
can
said.
fucking talk
That's
to
what I
Apple.
said.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, it's not my problem. It's her problem.
It's her problem.
She got to come to me.
Yeah. Technology's got to speed up. Gilly's putting out these beautiful lines of poetry, and Siri's fucking it up.
Could you imagine? Dude, this is my whole life. This is my whole life right here. My thoughts are way over there, and they fucking telling me to spell something over here. I'm like, dude, that was like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Where the fuck am I doing something 20 minutes ago when I'm thinking about...
What was that you said so I can
whole
get that
nine.
word right?
Yeah, but you can't pass this. You can't pass this class until you can go back 20 minutes and fix this. I'm like, what? It's a spelling error. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? And then when I stumbled upon the Mandarin sign people, the Chinese people, they just do signs. If they put 3 signs together, it creates a word. I'm like,
that's it.
I should have been Chinese. This is bullshit.
You couldn't have sat at the tables, dude. We struggling.
No,
My ankles.
Yeah.
Dude, that's all I needed.
Don't go down.
Citation and linguistics is the last language, right? It was C-Field for a million fucking years.
Million years.
And this is fucking the end. This was the end.
What was a movie with Chris Farley?
I like this. I want the signs.
He's laying on the side and shit. Gilly would have been Chinese. He'd have been all on the side.
Beverly Hills.
Yeah, Beverly Hills Ninja. Yeah.
Haru, the Great White Ninja.
But just think
That's
how
a good
clean.
movie.
How clean.
That's an underrated movie.
Yeah, it is.
That, like,
it's
Black
definitely
Sheep.
one of the top movies of all time.
That Rocky IV.
When he's like, when he does his disappearing act and he just jumps through the wall.
Yeah.
And that was great.
You know, and I'm gonna fight for those people too. I'm gonna
Chris Farley.
Who, the guys that can't fit it.
No.
The movie critics?
Chinese.
Well,
No, they're doing better than we are. The Japanese culture is sitting on the floor.
Let's just look. Let's say 10 years from now, we all got a bunch of money. We got these, and we're gonna have a foundation. Well, I'm gonna be putting my money with the indigenous to protect the
To leave them be indigenous.
the national parks, right?
Yeah.
Leave them be
Leave them
indigenous.
alone.
Yeah.
They don't.
And
They would not
then-
trade. They would not trade spots.
Then the disrespect to people like me who have like a little bit of dyslexia and a little bit of ADD, and our brains are moving faster than the way they're teaching us. Does that make sense a little bit?
Yeah, but that's the teachers. That's not
Yeah.
necessarily the student all the time. Because apparently it worked out.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Yeah.
because capitalism doesn't give a fuck how good your spelling
No,
is.
that's that systematic racism. And
Best
all that.
practice wins. That's what you always say.
It's real shit.
Capitalism
Best
don't give a
practice
shit about grammatically correct. It only gives a shit about the service that you bring to the environment, because that's what you get paid for.
Goat only cares if it's correct. I don't care how you fucking spell it or say
Yeah. I don't care how
if
you
it
say
protects
it.
you,
Is it?
then-
Is it verified in slow motion?
Yeah, that's it.
However you got to explain it.
Yeah.
What word you got to use?
You mean
what
I
cue
could
you got
show
to give?
you something? I could show you something, but you need a piece of paper. I would have failed that class for sure. Like that, if you would have been in here with scientific stuff with all of this backing it, and it was still Goata, fuck, you'd still be pissed, burning money, or you'd have just been fuck this dude. I'm going to play golf.
Yeah. I can do
Because
that.
I would have never
can do
been
that.
able to, you know.
All right. Hey, let's segue into this. This what I call we're moving from under the bus to stupidity thinking. So in my dialogue with many of these inbox people or in the comment sections, I have been accused many times of being dogmatic and absolute about Goata. And then my response is always, I fucking have 3 degenerative discs in my lumbar spine. If somebody would have told me 25, 30 years ago that there was a dogmatic, absolute way to fucking preserve the disc in my lumbar spine, I would have said,
You might have tried that first.
Oh, you fucking, I'll take the 100%. How do we get to where people are fucking this stupid?
Yeah. Take the 100%.
I take the 100%. Who takes less than 100% when it comes to the fucking their heart health?
Just first of all, what does dogmatic mean?
Thank you, Gary.
It's one of those words. Just roll your eyes down on. Sure, they're trying to slide us.
I seen a movie called Dogma.
Dogma.
That was kind of scary.
Some of that shit. Has it got something to do with that?
It just means
they hate the absolute.
The
It's
inability
absolute.
to change. Hey man, the sun comes up in the east, and it goes down in the west.
It does.
And to be dogmatic about that means you believe that that's true all the time.
Well, the consistency of what I saw dictates that to my brain. It is true.
Sun definitely
People
always
don't
goes
Observation.
down in the
People
west.
don't want. People don't. Well. Okay, so hold up. So
Because we're talking about stupidity. Because y'all got each one of y'all got a stupid.
So when you go into the training industry now, what's happening is you kind of clearing up some things in a sense because. Everybody's different. Femoral length. And
Yeah.
Well, no, not really, because everybody starts off crawling the same.
Correct.
Now, the social setting or the things that they do, if their dad was an accountant and he was duck-footed and pelvic tucked, the kid's probably going to walk around like that too. So there's a learned behavior element that comes along with it. Then you start seeing these changes in cultures. You see changes in if a kid's poor, if a kid's rich, or anything like that. So now you take this boilerplate training system and you throw that on top of all of these different kinds of shapes and sizes and all of that, and then everybody gets broken. So it can't be the Olympic lifting that's fucked up. So it's got to be the person's build, or it's got to. Well, what changes that? They lose that innate pattern, and then that's where people are really stupidity because they can't backtrack and reverse. Well, that's what you did. You reverse engineered the human movement, and you went far enough back to know that everybody moved the same at one time. So, if everybody could move the same at one time, then everybody could be brought back to that pattern. Because whatever's done could be undone, whatever's undone could be done again.
Think about the stupidity of that. Okay. Oh, well, because everybody's femur lengths are different. And I'm like, well, that's just a fractal shift in the size of the fractal. When you're watching an indigenous tribe like the jumpers from Africa, the Maasai, or the Kaburo, when you watch them move in a tribe, in a flock, the kids are moving the same as the women, and the women are moving the same as the men. They all got different femur lengths. That's the problem with the math. They didn't use singularity math.
An ankle, a knee, and a hip, it don't fucking matter how long everything is in between. As long as that knee hinges and them two gyroscopes work how they're supposed to, then you can squat. Tyreek Owens fucking 6'11".
Me and TT got different femur lengths.
Yeah.
And we still bow and corner.
I watched Ricky imitate a goose today.
A goose, different femur lengths. Bow and corner. Tiger, did you try to keep going? Bow and corner. It's all there. You thought the animals would really make it click. People just say, oh, now we're looking at animals? Yeah, bitch. You're an animal too.
Thunderstorms?
Did you not know that humans were animals? But you're so smart? Science. You don't know science, dude. What are you talking about? You haven't done science once in your life.
There really is no science.
No science to any of this
nature.
shit.
Nature's nature.
We talked about that the other day. Science. You mean the observation of nature? Did you start there?
We made
Did you start with the tribe?
That's it.
Did you start with the baby?
That's it.
If you didn't start there,
stupid.
the blueprint's bullshit afterwards.
We did.
You got to start.
We got so fucking smart. We got stupid.
That's what Josh Ulrich, he wrote a thing. I reposted it. That's what he said in his dissertation the other day. He was like, we've gotten so smart, we're stupid.
Well, we destroy everything. Mm-hmm. We create this super card and this and that. Well, how does it run? Well, we put gas in it, and the shit that comes out the pipe on the back end destroys everything else. You know what I'm saying?
Collateral damage.
Hey, we're going to send
collateral
the kids
damage
to school.
for comfort.
We're going to send the kids to school, and we're going to write on this stuff or this paper. We're going to cut down a whole bunch of trees back here and make the paper with it. Everything. We could get from here to there real quick. We can make a big concrete road and cut down everything and kill all the animals that was in the way.
Now you're finally seeing the collateral damage for poor Woda train.
That's right.
You're seeing the deforestation of the connective tissue.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking at now.
Look at COVID.
Oh, this is getting kind of bad.
Look at COVID. We so smart. It got created in a lab, right? Ain't that how it came about? It got created in a lab
That's
somewhere?
what some people
Because
say.
some
Get
small
us
dudes,
banned on our first episode.
No, I'm just saying, like, I mean, some people sitting in these scientists that know everything that we counting on, let something leak. You mean they made a human mistake?
Right.
Some things should be left alone.
It wouldn't be the first. You know?
Well, everything. We fuck it up.
So the stupidest thing.
Even screw up soda.
Let's stick with the stupidest thing theme. Cody, what's the stupidest thing that comes across your desk every day, consistently?
People that expect me to go outside of my way to help them when they don't want to do anything.
Something for I had somebody the other day say, I need your help, Coach Gills. I said, okay, it's $1,000 for 10 sessions.
Like,
He says, well, somebody said you could help me. I'm like, yeah, I can. I'm on a session, slow motion video. You're going to have a session 1. He's like, but they didn't say it was going to be any money. I'm like, what country do you live in? America. I'm like, it's capitalism. He's like, I said,
capitalism.
But listen,
dude, and then I said, oh, you need charity, bro. He's like,
they don't like that.
I don't do charity. I'm like, what do you mean you don't do charity? You say you need help.
you need
but
help,
you
but you don't have no humility either.
So I went to Wikipedia and I posted this thing that says, when humble people who are working hard, and Wikipedia said it really nice, need help and they need a way, they have to ask for help. And you know, people have charity accounts, and that's when they go out and they say, is this person qualified for charity? Then he came back about 2 days later and said, I'm sorry.
Dude, we help anybody.
My bad, bro.
Listen, I have never had somebody come to my page and I turn them away.
Yeah.
Some kind of way we're going to figure something out. We'll get you some help.
Yeah.
But you got to really be somebody that needs some help.
And put in the effort, too.
Because listen, we wouldn't be the guys at this table saying the things that we're saying if we wasn't willing to help somebody. Because this whole thing was about helping people.
Yeah.
You know? But you can't be a doctor and drive a Mercedes and be like, I'm not paying $1,000 for that. Well, you don't want the help.
Yeah.
I think
Because I need that $1,000 to help the kid that don't have no help. That's my mentality on it. You know?
Stupidest thing, Gary, that's come that repeats.
You know what's the stupidest thing? That I couldn't grab this sooner.
I'm upside down inside ankle bone high.
Yeah. Well, either Gilly didn't show it to me right.
Yeah. We should have shown that a little bit ago.
Yeah. Everybody that comes in here and gets certified probably goes, fucking Gary's an idiot.
It's not really. It's not really. No. This is, I think this is a flaw in the human, it's a flaw in the human species where I think that you know what I know.
Oh, I think that all the time.
Yeah.
Ex-Lil Gary and Alex.
I think that you know what I know. I just assume, you know, that you would see it like I see it. And then one day, you know, that fucking asshole David Weck taught me a big lesson. Because, you know, I'm teaching the singularity. And I'm teaching how to get to one side, get to the other side, flip the energy around. And then he comes up with head over foot. And I'm like, duh.
Yeah.
Duh. You know?
Well, he put a language on it.
Yeah.
He put a language on it.
And because I came from other markets, private, retail, investing markets, I didn't understand this market, which is, dude, you could say pimple on the left cheek and make $1 million. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck is this dude saying? Head over foot. Is this for real? I thought it was fucking stupidity. And then as everybody was like, yeah, head over foot, I'm like, is this for real?
Buzzwords, phrases.
Yes.
Core brace.
So,
dorsiflexion.
Dude, the
Neutral.
minute I came back, I'm like,
Tripod foot.
inside ankle bone high.
Inside ankle bone high.
Heel away all day.
Back to denominator. We're going to use this shit to our advantage.
You might want to cut all this out, bro. You might want to cut all
Yeah,
this
but the thing...
somehow in my brain, I thought that was elementary.
And it's needed.
Fucking stupid. And then all of a sudden, it's head over foot is inside ankle bone high. It's heel away all day. It's head enters the column, knee leaves the column. It's all these acronyms, BCD. Yeah, I was a neophyte. As I was a neophyte coming into this industry as an outsider. I didn't know how to market it. I didn't even know I didn't even know why people were doing what they were doing.
What's a neophyte?
Thank you, Gary.
The fuck is a neophyte?
I'm gonna go with new.
Dude,
The word new.
neo is
The word
Gary.
You talking about
Neo
a dude that
Matrix.
dances?
Gary, I'm fucking listening to people say stupid shit like head over foot. Like, how can you not see that that's head over foot? And really smart people be like, oh yeah, head over foot. I'm like,
It's like with Inside Anchorman High. How can you not see that it's Inside Anchorman High?
This is my problem. This is my biggest weakness. I'm watching slow motion video 6 hours a day. And I'm thinking, everybody knows how.
Everybody else watching slow motion 6 hours a day.
Well, the problem is that you were the only one that was looking at it from the front and the back.
Yeah.
Everybody else was looking at slow motion video from the side. They're like, God, that guy's a gazelle.
Yeah.
Right.
Meanwhile, he's got
Man.
knee bandages
That
on
triple
and shit.
extension is something.
Torn Achilles.
That's
and
why
stuff
one
like
day
that.
I was like, Gary, you got to take this baby. Take this baby, bro. Take this baby because I don't know the industry. You understand what I'm saying? I was like, these
Fuck, I didn't
motherfuckers
either.
are saying some shit, don't make no sense. It's kind of, it's elementary in a way.
Well, so that was the separation with everything anyway, was because the Coach Tony was in there and we were talking about it the other day. He's like, dude, the problem is that if you come at a strength coach too medical, they don't like the medical people. Mm-hmm. They don't talk to them. They speak two different languages, and that it really needs to be something that could bring them together. Because, and we've been in them. You go to the universities. Me and Duck been all over the country, looking at schools and taking kids to camps. And very rarely is the training, the weight training, next door to.
No,
to
we got to
the
walk across.
You got to
campus a lot,
walk across. You got to go across at least the indoor facility or go upstairs or something like that. It's in two different areas. They keep them separated, so there's a communication breakdown. But they don't want to communicate either. So now you're throwing a third language in.
Yeah.
Is what's happening. So that was why when we first started talking, I was like, we need a language that I can understand. Because you know what? My kids understand me. And if this is going to happen,
that's where you made me better. Because then I had to sit there and say, okay, there's a singularity, and Gary needs more bullets in the gun. Gary needs more bullets in the gun. I'm like, well, how the fuck am I going to do this? Thank God I was a triathlete and I was a golfer. Backswing, downswing, follow through. Grab the water, pull the water, recover. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point I was like, oh, this is easy. This is easy. Every great coach in the history of time, whether it's wax on, wax off, Karate Kid or Jack Grout, it's the same three. It just happens to go in 3 phases. I don't know fucking why. Tesla has the big 369 thing, but so you really you helped me be a better coach by saying you gotta kind of chop it up a little bit.
And I think the other thing too is a lot of people, like Duck said, couldn't get past your shoes and your shorts.
I had somebody on the comment section once, like, Rick, this guy in the
got
boat shoes
on.
I'm like, dude, he's the GOAT.
Doing the
I'm
drop
like,
in
just
the
listen to him.
Whatever shoes he
I'm like,
wants.
that's what you need to do. You got to drop in. I'm like, I know it's stuck. I know it's boat shoes, but that's what you should be doing. It's fine.
Weight vest.
I work out
press.
at 7:30 in the
listen.
morning. 7:30 in the morning. At least 3 days a week, I work out in boat shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not really.
I mean, I had a
I'm
video
not
where I
trying
had blue
to beat
tights on.
anybody.
and
I'm not trying
big
to beat anybody.
sweatshorts.
I'm just trying to get.
We've got
my
weird
bows and
videos
my
out
goals.
there. They know. There's some weird. Yeah, it's just kind of because you go
Rick,
live.
Stupidest
You
thing.
go live. He always goes live. Like right
I
now,
like-
we're shooting it.
I like going.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know you could record. Van was the other day. I was like, yeah, Van, like, we're doing a podcast. I'm like, man, I'm getting all geared up. And we talking. I'm like, this is great, man. I said, how many people we got watching? He said, we pre-record. I'm like, what? What is that? Pre-record. You record now and you edit it, you do later. I said, man,
Yeah.
I don't do that. I go live.
Let's get it out right now.
Stupidest thing, right?
Oh, no. I was talking to
Dude, I think you got a
Alyssa.
question that stumped Ricky.
Alyssa.
What?
What's the stupidest thing you ever saw?
Rick, stupidest thing every day. The same thing that comes up over and over again.
Shit. That's a stupid person. That was a stupid person.
He's gone, huh?
Come on,
Yeah,
Ricky.
man.
They're coming in. They lacking common sense. They're asking some.
Well, people be like, well, you have to use Inside Edge. Says where? Says who? What's your, like, people just come back to, well, like, you got to use Inside Edge.
Yeah, because
I'm like, but have you thought about it?
70 years ago when they did the original gate assessments down in Los Alamos,
Yeah.
it was toe off.
Right. It was toe off.
Yeah, it was toe off in swing phase.
But that's the biggest one is that you have to use Inside Edge. I'm like, but have you seen the shreds?
Yeah.
Well, no. I'm like, so you haven't even really looked at Inside Edge. But how do you know you need to use it? It just keeps.
And what did you look at it with?
Right.
That's the big thing, right? Well, you could see something that looks like something. How many times did you send a video? Dude, and then it gets, I have days where I'm so wrapped up in it and I did 15, 20 evals I feel like I've done. I feel like I've been sitting through Ricky's portion of lab weekend for like all day. 5 days
That is
in
purgatory
a row.
for the wellness.
Yeah, right.
Just over,
And it's like,
never-ending
I'm like,
assessments with me sitting there, just
Gilly, come
road
look at
after
this.
Goata.
Tell me what you see. And then Gilly's like, well, he's just not in his columns. And I'm like, dude, I fucking preach columns. And I passed it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I lose the
You gotta
the
wash your
thoroughness.
eyes sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I can't fucking see. I got glasses.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Well, that goes to the one, actually, the one that I do get the most in the inbox is about research or data. And I'm like, dude, you can take it or leave it. I'm just asking you to watch this.
Yeah. Well,
you ain't even done the first thing I asked. So you want to ask questions about data and research, but I'm just asking you to trust your eyes. What do you think?
The research is the
Tell me what you
inside
think.
long
Yeah.
ACL.
Like the
That
research
the
is watching 60 Achilles shreds. That's the research. Watch it. So like, I'm just like, what about data? What about this? I'm like, well, the research is, you watch slow motion video and you think for yourself.
Videos.
You think for yourself.
How many videos?
I got 15,000
on your
videos
iPhone?
in my phone.
Ooh.
That's research.
Who's got the most? Who's got the most? In the audience, who do you think has the most at the table?
All photos. Where's the number? I only have 3,480.
Yeah, 3,000. Probably more on my.
You couldn't find nothing. It's like a needle in a haystack.
You know what it is? I don't delete nothing either. So I probably got a whole bunch of fucked
No, I
up
delete.
emails in there.
I delete.
Yeah, I
delete.
Yeah.
I
some
try to
bad-
keep it organized.
I got some bad emails.
All right.
But then I screen
Who
record
wants to
everything.
pick the next topic? RJ, you? Anybody? Anybody out there?
Topic.
Steven, you? Duck, you? Let me tell you the story between a child who has a parent and a child who maybe doesn't or wasn't participating. So Donald Clay Jr. had a parent that was fighting for his future. And Kaz Anton and his little brother, they were just showing up. When I was recoding Clay Jr., I was recoding Kaz Anton at the same time. It was 2016. Kaz Anton was a beautiful kid, kind of like Goata Joe. He had it all. Gary, he was one of the very first kids. Gary's like, if you think you this good, this was early 2016, then you gotta. If you help this kid, I'll work with you. And I said, well, what's his problem? And Gary said, he's a heavy runner. I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck that means, bro. What's that mean, a heavy runner? So, dude, I get in there. And at that time, I was using a lot of the biomechanical gobbledygook that I had learned from Pete. And I was like, look, he's externally rotated at the foot, inside ankle bone low, front chain dominant. We call it mass movement in the corrective exercise world. In essence, is when people move, they look like Frankenstein. And and I'm probably Gary couldn't see it. And my biggest flaw is what? I think everybody is as smart as me. Or I think everybody's seeing it like I'm seeing it. Boy, and I brought Kaz in there, and I made him, and I made Donald Clay Jr. a Goata. But somehow, Kaz couldn't walk away from the Olympic lifting. He couldn't walk away from the power lifting. And when he got to Nicholls State, about the same time Clay Jr. got to SMU, dude, he tore his hip flexor off the bone so bad. And they went in there and they did a repair, and we were talking back and forth. And he 6 months later, he said, Coach, my hip don't feel right. I said, trust your instincts. Go back home, get an MRI, and ask a different doctor what he thinks. He goes to a different doctor, and they say, man, they butchered his surgery. This is why you got to avoid the medical buildings at all time. He goes in there and has a repair, another repair, the repair on the repair. And then about a year later, I reached out to him. I said, Kaz, how you doing, babe? He's like, I said, are you still Goata? Because that's my thing. Are you still Goata? He's like, Coach, I just want to let you know I'm no longer play football. I'm retired from the game. I said, but I'm still in college. They're honoring my scholarship. And but right before he had that tear, I had a few people say, man, Kaz is killing it in the weight room at Nicholls State.
Mm-hmm.
He's fucking killing it. And I was like, oh, boy.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
There's them inputs.
Yeah, he's killing it. So the winner in the weight room ends up being the loser. Ends up being the winner in the
I can confirm that from my friends.
In the chop up.
Yeah.
Talk about that. You can confirm that.
Mm-hmm.
They got those boards, don't they?
We actually have one of our coaches, Kasha. She's working with my good buddy Tony and Monster at Olympic lifting. But broken foot, inside ankle bone low, ACL, and then just couldn't get it back from that point on. And so it was just like he couldn't find it because you know why?
The math is
changed. It's just totally in reverse. There was no way that it was going to go back unless it was a big recode, but that's just not what people were doing.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, because Donald's sitting right there, big Donald. When little Donald comes back, sometimes sometimes I'm not happy, bro. I'm not happy because we had to go to 10. We had to go to Joe and go to Little Clay, and they were fucking flawless. And when they go and they come back and they're not the same, it's like what have you been doing? And he's got to do what he's got to do, right? He's got to go in there in front of all the people and the peer pressure, and he's got to lift the weights.
You have to.
Yeah.
That's why he keeps coming back, though.
Got to brush it all away, recode it back, and get it all back. Yeah, we got to get them to the pros as fast as possible because at that point they're on their own, right?
Well, somewhat.
We could see. This is the beauty of it when you got a kid with an IQ like that. All you got to do is keep him in the middle of Goata, and then when we get him home,
right?
When we get him home, we got to fix him.
Yeah.
So COVID was a good time for him. You know what I'm saying? Because he was home. COVID was a great time for Jamal. But when you get a kid that's got an IQ like Donald, as long as he could get through, run the gauntlet, and survive the other end, then when we get him back again, and he's a grown man now, we could put that pattern in him, and it's there forever. Because when he goes to the next level, he's going to be more mature. He's going to be more serious about things. And then he's going to have the resources to move us around like he needs to take care of him. So he could sign that third and fourth contract.
So truth be told, I had the conversation with him today because lately his quad been bothering him.
Yeah.
So, of course, I'm no medical person, but when I'm around Goata, so anytime I hear problems, I automatically think, okay,
he's moving back.
You're not doing what you're supposed to do. So to the contrary, because today was the day that he set me straight. And his conversation was, in these colleges, our bodies are being pushed to the max. With little rehab, a little rest to recover.
Mm-hmm.
But setting me straight, his words was, thanks to Goata, I'm still good.
Yeah.
So, okay, as a parent, when I hear my quad is hurting me, and this is his exact words, my quad was hurting me, but damn okay. But okay, we 8 hours away from each other. When I hear my quad is hurting, I'm thinking the worst. Parent.
Yeah.
But he's literally telling me, Dad, I'm okay. But I'm not hearing he's okay. So then I go into, okay, are you doing your go-to work?
Yeah.
Are you doing child rockers?
If you're around it long enough,
Are you doing child rockers?
Again,
Please tell me yes.
Yeah.
He's been around it long enough to where his slant boards, his chucks, and everything that's been presented to him, he's using it. So again, like he said, it basically was our bodies are being pushed to the max with little to zero kind of recoup time to allow it to. But again, you know, one-on-ones killed it.
Yeah.
And this was
he's
after
got-
he
he's
was
got-
telling me
He's got the
quad.
magic, though. We know he's got the magic. What do we do? Yeah, go ahead, Don.
So, you know, again, you don't, and that's the hardest thing that I know we fight is that you could teach these kids. I mean, the earlier the better.
Yeah.
But then they can't be labeled as that kid that's uncoachable.
Yeah, you got to just
You're in those programs
you got to
now.
run the gauntlet.
So when the
It
strength
just
and
is what it is.
conditioning coach,
You got to do it.
So when the strength and conditioning coach says, "This is the way we do it.
Mm-hmm.
This is why we do it. This is what we do," you can't say, "Okay, coach, I've been taught better.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something else."
That'd be funny.
Gary, you and Ricky should talk about
do
that
that.
for a little while. Y'all should really hash that out, Rick.
But
You
Duck
and
just
Gary.
said it. I mean, that's what it is.
Well, that's where you find out who's the, you know, it's because that was the big question too. Like when me and Nat sit down and talk, is he's like, well, what about when they get to college? Because nobody in the colleges is doing this. So what do you do? Well, you got to counter it. Like you have to provide something for that athlete. Rico 225, the app. You know what I'm saying? They have the tools now. We know this too. We know that the athlete that's going to make it, the guy that's going to get, because you say it all the time, right? The guy that gets the most reps gets what? He gets hurt. But the guy that gets the most go-to reps is the hardest worker in the gym now. He might not be executing that hard work in the gym, but when he's in the gym, he's the hardest worker because he's the guy that goes home at night and does another hour of coding, recoding, and he's got to dial it in. Now, this is the other thing, too. When you get a parrot like Donald that's been here, if something ain't right with Lil Duck, he knows Lil Duck ain't doing what Lil Duck's supposed to be doing sometimes, too. So the first thing is what? Have you been doing your recoding? I got you slant boards, Bosu balls, vibration guns. Fuck, you got everything that you need to survive. I've done without so that you can survive. And if you don't take advantage of it, guess what? That kid ain't making it anyway. So it's the kid.
Plan.
And then the other thing too is Duck calls up and he says my quad hurts because his kinesthetic awareness is different because he's a fucking Goata. Yeah. Your quad hurt might be some shit that they got 50 dudes in the locker room that their quads, their backs, their hamstrings, and they just don't feel it no more because they've masked the pain or found other ways to deal with it. Whereas like when a Goata feels something, it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, what's
What
that?
the fuck is this?
That doesn't show up.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? And that's the beauty of it. You know, it's like when Joe got to Canada. He's like, dude, I ain't practicing right now. Something ain't right here. I don't know what it is, barometric pressure or whatever. My Achilles don't feel right. I'm calling my coaches back home. I'm not practicing today. And then he's back on practice the next day. Donald gets trampled in the end zone. Jamal Pettigrew falls. Them dudes are inside ankle bone high. If they have a problem, it's not a problem that's going to put them on an IR for 3 weeks or some stuff like that. They're not going to miss time.
And they have a plan.
And they have a plan in place to do it.
They know exactly what they're going to do with it.
Back at practice Sunday.
Yep. There were so many times you'd be hurt, and you're hurt, and now you're confused. Like that'd be like, I'm hurt. This hurts. I'm like, I have no idea. I went to the training staff. They're supposed to help me, but they didn't. Who next? Nobody. But now you got Goata, so you're like, okay, I can call these guys.
Buster, you want to say something?
Yeah.
Buster, come here.
All right. Come up to the mic.
Introduce yourself, Buster. Tell them who you are, bro.
Buster the strong man coming to the mic.
Sure I'm inside ankle bone
And heels away all day, dog.
Right. Or I could probably sit in this style.
Take your time, Bubble.
Got me.
Yep.
Buster.
You could extend that mic, huh?
Why you do the mic work?
So this is what's called a sort of a brainstorming mastermind and a free thought. It's podcast equipment, but we just having a free thought session. And Coach Bam is going to do whatever he wants with these cuts. Buster.
How's it going, guys? I'm Tevin Cherry, aka Buster the Strongman. I'm officially the first Goata coach certified out of Atlanta, and I just want to come on and thank everybody for everything they've been able to do in these last 2 days. But I really wanted to talk about ever since I've been training in Goata within the last, I want to say going on 2 years, I struggle with going back to a regular gym and having to decode. And so it's like I'll just stay home and just do Goata all the time because I know it feels right. And it's like when I go to a regular gym, it's like I'm having a tug of war.
You got
with,
any more?
You know, myself and things like that. Yeah.
Buster, tell them what you have, though, bro.
Okay, I was born with a condition called cerebral palsy. It's the most common childhood physical disability, and basically what happened is the cerebral cortex got damaged in my brain during birth, so that affected my movement, and I can't really walk as straight as, quote unquote normal people. So, me trying to recode, I feel like it's a lifelong process for me.
Look out, Cody.
What's going on over there, Coach?
All right, Buster. Because you a solid, strong guy. You really are Buster the Strong Man. I'm gonna ask you some tough questions.
Sweet, go ahead.
So you're the first person with CP that's ever even tried Goata. And you have the best attitude of anybody I know. Talk about that.
Well, as I've been, sharing with other coaches on this trip, I believe my attitude comes from my strong family and my great background. My dad, he's famously known for, when I was born and I was diagnosed with CP, they often told my parents that I would basically be a vegetable and wouldn't have a life worth living. But my dad famously told the doctors, "That's okay. We understand your diagnosis and you're a doctor, but we're basically gonna take him home and figure him out."
Figure it out.
Yeah. So I can remember growing up as a child, and I would fall down, or I was trying to learn how to stand up and things like that. And my dad, he would stand there and just, I would always be by his pant leg. So I had to learn how to pull up on his pant leg and pull myself up, and then he would pick me up and things. But other people would look and see him in public, and they would tell him that he was going to hell and things like that. And it's like, wow.
Well,
Yeah.
the average person, and I probably shouldn't say that. There are some people in this world.
They don't understand.
Correct.
They don't understand.
Yeah. You say it better.
And
you say it better.
it's like even with
they don't understand. They don't have the education. They don't. Yeah, they've never been put in a position.
People outside of my friends and things like that. They say things, and it's like they say things to my friends, and they never say these things to me. And it's like I'm sitting here, and it's like you can't even talk to me like I'm a human. So I'm like, why should your opinion really matter?
Why should your opinion? I like that.
When you haven't taken the time out to know me as a person, you just see my body as a mere shell. And I basically was, I would like to say I was desperate, but at the time, I'd come to a plateau as far as my fitness journey. I was pretty heavy into weightlifting and things like that. And I came to the point where I was like, okay, God, I'm going to be pretty strong. I'm gonna inspire a lot of people. I'm just gonna reside to having cerebral palsy for the rest of my life until Cody saw one of my videos on Instagram and he liked it and then he commented, "Let's go," and then he DM'd me and he was like, "Hey man, I can fix your feet," and I'm like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah." He was like, "When you're free, let's FaceTime," and I'm like, "Can you really fix my feet?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm a therapist, you know. We'll work with Goata." And I was like, "What's Goata?" And he was like, "I'll tell you Monday." So he hit me up the following Monday. We got on a FaceTime, and he got me down and trialed rockers, which took about an hour and a half. Just kidding. took about 5 minutes. And the thing I liked about Goata was it was so quote-unquote accessible. I could get down into each position, and everything was on the ground. I didn't have to worry about heavy weights and things packing my back. Everything was so accessible. And that's the greatest thing about Goata to me.
And let me tell you something. That's the same thing that a regular person needs.
Yeah.
And the regular person needs to do the same thing you're doing.
I work out 6 days a week, twice a day. I don't like working out on Sundays. If I do something on Sundays, I'll do like a light recode where I'm on the ground. And basically what Cody and all the guys are working with me is I'm very supple. I'm very hypermobile for somebody in my position, but we're really building that structure, and we're really trying to change my shapes. You know, trying to really get my inside ankle bones high and get my hips to externally rotate so I can set bows. And right now, I'm stuck in a hinge basically, so we're trying to unwound all of that and all the things that Atlanta and the various coaches have done in the last 2 days. I'm already in a huge upgrade, so when I go back home to Atlanta, I have a lot of homework to do, but I'm really confident. And GOAT is perfect for somebody like me because with cerebral palsy, it's neurological, so it's all see and feel. So, you know, not saying that I have something over other coaches, but I can actually feel where I need to place my knee, or I can actually feel, you know, my outside edge. So I'm like, when I'm feeling the outside edge, it's like I can tell my body where I need to go and where I need to shift and where I need to, you know.
I'll say this. Cody, you got something to say? I'll say this, that we are lucky enough to live in the greatest time in history. We have the greatest science in history. The bullshit science and the other side. And I like your attitude because you are, you have to fight the great fight. And when I was a child, my dad had a massive stroke and paralyzed him for life. And he never got the opportunity to use his left side. He was paralyzed till he died. And the research is getting better. And they're starting to figure out that they might be able to help these paralyzed people. So, and then you're so young, you know, you may be a part of one of the greatest advancements in the history of the world, which is we got to figure this shit out, right? Right. RJ's a chemist. He's a scientist. What would you say to that?
Right. It's a huge fight, you know, because I live in Atlanta, and all I see in gyms is inside ankle bone low, inside edge, and people are walking around in pain and they don't understand why. And I'm probably one of the only few people with those skill sets because I've called around to various physical therapy clinics and met up with various people, and they don't really have rehabilitative resources for people such as in my position. So I'm a special person, and I'm in a special time period in my life. I flew out here by myself, nobody, no family. I flew out here on a whim, but I've gained so much tools in the last 2 days. I can easily chalk these last 2 days as the best couple days of my life, and I've overcome so much in the last 8 months. I can't help but be thankful. And
let me ask you this: you think you could coach somebody up with CP or similar nervous system disorder?
Of course, I'd have to do my own research because every case of CP and every there's different degrees. So of course I'm gonna have to be researched and well versed and all of that. But as long as I figure that out, and as long as I can collaborate with and build like genuine connections that are willing to, you know, pontificate or go back and forth with, you know, what I know, and then I could pull various things like working with Lynn was a godsend, you know, going through the decompression drills and, you know, learning how to loosen this up and loosen that up, you know, breaking up and opening new access. So for me, I'm opening a whole new door for people that either have cerebral palsy or have no option to rehabilitate themselves.
RJ, where are we with this possibility?
One second, Coach.
Yeah.
One second, Coach. First of all, bro, the way the world see your special and the way we see your special is probably two totally different specials.
Yes.
You get where I'm going with this?
Yes.
Like, bro, I've watched many Goata coaches come through here. I watched many people come to this state and our city and come get recoded, bro. Listen, on the record, bro, you are the most inspirational person that I've ever met in my life. You. So, keep fighting your fight. Like, do you, like, really inspire me? Like, you inspire me. Period.
Thank you.
I'm done.
Thank you.
If RJ, where are we at as a society here? Is this something that AI is going to have to figure out?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to act like I'm educated at all in cerebral palsy. I'm really not. But in terms of where I see it going, something like Neuralink with Elon Musk, what he's trying to develop, I think that is the technology where if someone's nervous system is damaged, if it's not functioning, you know, as designed, I think that, you know, and he's talked about it. You know, he's on podcasts talking about it. I can never explain it like he can. I would never try to, but I think the future of rehabilitation and correcting any issues that might lie in the nervous system, in the brain, the spinal cord, whatever it is, I think it's going to lie in his technology and whatever technology that is an offset of what he's trying to develop. You know, he's extremely confident about it. You know, you can listen to him talk about it. He's not someone to bullshit around either. He's obviously a very dedicated guy. But he will say, you know, within 10 years, like those are the first people that are going to have access to that technology are people with an issue with their nervous system, with their brain, with their spinal cord, anything like that. Those are the people that need it the most, and those are the people he's looking to help, you know, as soon as he can.
Yeah.
And you know, that man's a genius. He could potentially be the smartest person ever for all we know in recorded history. And I think in terms of his technology, it's going to be there. It's going to be there sooner than people think. And you just have to listen to him talk. I mean,
what's his name?
Elon Musk.
Elon.
He runs Tesla, SpaceX.
Yeah.
Neuralink is his other company. It's not a company that sells a commercial product right now, you know, because it's still in the research and development phase. But
Okay.
yeah, I
So
mean,
it's
Buster,
still-
I would listen to him. Like, he talks about it, but I would look at Neuralink, and I'm not saying, you know, I don't, no guarantees. I didn't develop the technology. I have no connection to it. But
yeah, I've
hearing
heard
him,
about it. I just haven't really had time to really do a deep dive into it. You know, Elon Musk is one of the greatest minds of our time. So
Yeah.
at least he's not trying to block out the sun like Bill Gates.
Well, yeah, I think, but you know, I think there will be a solution in the future with anything. I think.
Yeah, because if they can figure it out for him, they're going to figure it out for paralysis.
Yeah. I think if you have guys like him around, you know, just like with you, I mean, you figured out a solution.
Yeah, and I'm a generalist.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you know, that's kind of what he's a guy who's looking to create solutions for some of the biggest problems we have today, and we're lucky to have a guy like that. And there's going to be more people like that coming around, and more people like that getting the funding they need and the backing they need to further continue that development of their ideas. And as long as we continue to fund those people and we continue to realize their potential, I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to.
Yeah, I'm like you. I'm an optimist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think we'll figure it out.
And you have to have a certain amount of optimism because, there have been times and spots in my life where I've been down, but I always try to just keep my head down, working, grinding.
Yeah.
That's why Cody really wanted to work with me in the first place. He went to my page and he saw that the work was there.
Cody's a healer, bro. He's looking to heal people.
Yeah.
So
Cody, the funny thing is the way that the person that you'd imagine Cody is, like if you just saw him on social media, he messes around a lot, but he is the exact opposite person of the people of who people think he is on social media. And that's like, I know Cody well now. And he's a person that really cares about helping people.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing that I really liked about him, because he was genuine. I've gone to other gyms and people would post me for sympathy and things of that nature. And it's like, I'm a person and I was able to do this before I stepped into your gym, I just blew up your social media page and I'm sitting there following everybody who likes it. And I'm like, I'm growing my brand too. But, I'm just glad that the Hive is a genuine place, and I just like to be in genuine places and spaces with people that have real connections and go through real problems. And we're all about coming up with collective solutions here.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. And that's the thing. If you've, like people like Cody, people like you, Gil, obviously Gary, my father. He's right behind me. For people that don't know that, they'll be like, "What? That doesn't make any sense."
Your quarterback from college too.
Yes, my former quarterback from college, but he's always going to be my quarterback. That's Ricky Stanley, the Tom Brady of Iowa. Personally, I think he's better looking, but hey, that's just
the
me.
Tom Brady of Iowa. So Ricky's the Tom Brady
of Iowa. Yeah.
That's my teammate.
That's it. But the thing is there's a lot of ego in the world, and don't get me wrong, like I'm not saying I'm egotistical. I definitely am still, attached to my ego, but Gil, you were looking for the truth. Like you were just looking, it was no ego. You didn't care if you were right or wrong. You were just looking for the objective truth. You were able to find it. And that's all we're looking for. If the slow motion video changes and we see something, you said it yourself.
Yeah.
You even said things to me like, RJ, is the math? What I'm looking at the wakes here of a bow. What do you think? Did I get the bow wrong? I was like, Gil, no. I was like, that's just one little circumstance, but like that showed me that you're always looking for the truth, even though you've already created it. You said you didn't create Goata. You created the system and the assessment and all that stuff to work around it. But no matter what, if God forbid anything ever happened, the slow motion video changed, you would change. And I know
absolutely,
that. I know you would change. And that's the great thing of being around people like that, where you're just looking for the objective truth. You're not looking to pad your ego, which that's hard to find. That's really hard to find nowadays because everyone is worried about how they come off. Do I come off like I'm right? Do I come off like, oh no, this is my idea? Like you'll say, this is nature's. This is nature's. And
it's nature's rules.
It's nature's rules.
People,
it would have been way easier for me to sit at home with and I'm worth well over, what is it, 7 figures when you're worth $1 million?
No big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a couple $1 million.
Independently wealthy. I live in my parents' basement.
Wealthy.
Yeah.
You're wealthy in a way they don't place value.
Yeah, people.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm worth that much, but
I
don't have to worry for nothing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I got
what you like.
I got
to
a
do,
disability policy,
it.
and it's like, well, do I really need it anymore? Wow. In the wealth community, they call it the run rate. The run rate is if I spend $100,000 a year. The run rate is how many years you can live past your life expectancy. So
okay,
yeah. So let's say I live to 80. That's 25 years. So that means I need $2.5 million. So I can get to my life span, the end, once. That's called the run rate of once. But if I was worth $5 million, I'd have a run rate of 2. Does that make sense a little bit?
Okay.
Yeah. Run rate. So some people's run rate's like 100. Yeah, 100, man. Yeah, this motherfucker.
Just go forever. They need Elon.
Gary's like 1 hour. 1 hour is my run rate. Yeah, RJ, you know, it's like the other guy that I like you, the Sean Shane guy. It's I got skin in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got genetic material in the game. And people need help. There's kids right now that are being led down the wrong path. Yeah. And we got to find them before it's too late. Dude, you don't want to live like I lived for 14 years. It wasn't worth it.
No.
You know, and you had a little bit of it, right?
A tiny bit, but I mean, it's one of those things where it's, you know, like I just thinking about people who have severe back pain. You know, if you just experience that for an hour, where you just, oh man, you know, like, you know, everyone who's deadlifted for a period of time, at some point, your back's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this, you know, I can't do anything for an hour. You gotta lay down. You gotta, and I just think about that. I'm like, imagine having that 24 hours a day. Like Bill Walton, he's one of the guys that you know, I've heard stories about how bad his back pain was. Where that's something that it really makes you reconsider your existence. Or at that point, and that's the reality of all this. You can get so degenerated that you will reconsider being on Earth, being alive.
I've been there. Yeah, I've been there. That's it's a difficult place to be, but if you get there like I've been there, then there's certain things that you understand, like why people go to Oregon to euthanize. Yeah, because it's time. It's fucking time to go, and you need to be able to go. And some of these laws are archaic.
Yeah.
Because it was based on...
It's kind of our society that keeps us alive a little longer, too.
Yeah.
Than we should be.
Part money grab, right, and part...
Oh, yep.
Part laws...
Do we want to go there?
Part laws that were based on...
I'm working on being nicer, so I don't know if we need to go to the money grab in the medical world right now.
All right, Bam, you want us to cover anything else? RJ, you got anything else to say?
No, it's nice just getting on the mic. I feel like I'm important or something.
Yeah.
I feel like I should rap. Like, do you guys want me to sing? I can sing. Me and Gary were singing on the ride here. Billy Joel, Jimmy Buffett. If you guys...
Ooh, Jimmy Buffett. Let's
you guys
go.
want to do karaoke, I mean, I could bless the mic with some...
no, let's
tunes.
wrap it up. I got to take a pee. Oh, really? All right, Bam. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Bam.
Signing off.
Thank you.
This is my first time. It's done.
That was awesome, dude.